Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, a very warm welcome to you too. Last year, I set up a show called VauxALL. More than 500 cars turned up last year. Well, second year, we're doing it again, and this time we've got 600 cars, and the theme this year is performance. As you can see, we've got HP Forenzas behind us, and there's loads more cars here. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Theme of this year's show, which is performance VauxALLs, and we're going to do this with our show sponsor, Cherished Vehicle Insurance. Now, I want to say a huge thank you to Cherished Vehicle Insurance, and those of you around, would you mind awfully putting your hands together for Cherished Vehicle Insurance? Show your appreciation to these guys. Just give a quick round of applause, because you really have helped the show this year. Let's talk a little bit then about insurance and talking about you guys. Simon, welcome to VauxALL. What do you think so far?
It's fantastic. The range of cars, the array of them going back from 1960s right the way up until the 2000s, it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
There's cars from my youth here, there's cars I used to drive, there's cars my dad used to drive, and there's also cars that I really wanted but could never afford.
There you go. Well, you can reminisce.
Yes.
You can drool over many of them. I'm sure there's a couple of buckets around to catch all and so forth. But all of these cars, one of the most important things that, to be honest, a lot of us see it as a pain, is insurance, because it's something we pay for every year. Hopefully we never have to use it. And of course this year the insurance prices have started going up, which is affecting the hobby a little bit. Let's start with the first question. Why is insurance important?
Insurance is a legal requirement to drive your car on the road. Obviously, if anything happens to your car, you want to make sure that you are protected so that you can be placed into a position of indemnity so you can go out and buy a similar vehicle should it get written off. Obviously, if it doesn't get written off, we can repair it for you as well. It's also very important to make sure that you've got the correct value for your car. So agreed values is something that we are very big on. We agree everything in-house, and we like to make sure that you are getting 100% your value that you want for your car, particularly if you've done modifications to the vehicle or it's non-standard in any way. That is something we can accommodate. Historically, insurers have taken a dim view on modifications, but we at Cherished Vehicle Insurance, we're more a group of car enthusiasts before we're insurance brokers. So when you tell us that you've got a front-mounted intercooler, say for example, or a supercharger, we know exactly what you've done. And then we know the associated other modifications that you've put with it as well. So we can write down the exact specification of your vehicle in black and white, agree the value with you, and if anything happens, then you're covered.
Yeah. Well, we've got three quite different cars sat here, and I was quite deliberate in choosing these three cars to put this point across, because we've got, now, where's our owner for this one? There you are. Is it standard, or have you started messing with it? It is standard. Perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping. Then we've got a very much a classic, absolutely is classic now, and then we've got modified. So we've got three very different cars, but all of which could benefit from specialist insurance. Starting with our Monaro over here, you don't see many of them.
You don't.
Many of them are modified, but that one's standard.
Yeah. We do have some Monaros at the moment on cover with agreed value, even though they are slightly more modern than the standard typical classic car that you would think of with chrome bumpers. But yeah, it's something that we recognise as a classic.
Okay.
So if you're using it as a sort of weekend car, show and shine car, then yeah, it's something that we would specifically like to insure properly for you.
Yeah. Now there's only about 200, or there was only about 200 of them. There's far fewer of them now. Very, very rare. I mean, yes, you can find them for sale sometimes, but replacing it is going to be extremely difficult. So if there was an unfortunate situation, say with something like this, that it suffered mechanical failure and suffered fire damage, or it was stolen, or it got bumped, what would be the process then?
So if it was damaged, we would ask you to get some quotes from a preferred repairer, somebody that you know and trust, a specialist in the industry, rather than just a bog standard car repairers, because they're not going to know how to fix it. I mean, if you take it to an MOT station, I'm sure that they'll be like, what do I need to check? But yeah, we make sure that we will cover it up to the agreed value that we've agreed. And it will be repaired up to that value as well. If it's slightly over, we might look at you paying a sort of proportion towards it due to the cost of labour being high. But we would like to make sure that you are covered for it, so it does get it back on the road rather than being recycled.
Yeah, absolutely. And then right next to us here. So I don't know if they're around. Okay, when I said, could I have I rang up VXR owners, said, could I have an Astra VXR, please? So like, what do you want? I was like, I'd like an Astra VXR. Do you want a Larry one? Yeah, okay, bring over a Larry one. And then they bring in this. They just sort of like, okay, well, we very much got the opposite end of the spectrum here. We've got Lambo doors, it's on air ride, different wheels, obviously we've got arches, we've got all sorts on there. In fact, there's not much left that hasn't been touched on that car. Where would you even start with that?
So to insure something like that, I mean, it depends on how it's being used, how many miles a year it's being driven for. If it is pampered and it's only coming out for 1,500 miles a year, 3,000 miles a year, then yeah, we would put it on a limited mileage policy. We would specify all of the modifications on it, so it is all in black and white, so we have got the exact specification, and we would, if anything did happen, if it was stolen, we would try and put you back in a position of indemnity so that you've got enough money to buy a similar vehicle.
Perfect. Right, so three very different takes, and you've heard from the man there literally what they do in all those different scenarios. So it's not as simple as, just doing these comparison websites. Your dailies, your comparison websites work quite well, but when it starts getting a bit more specialist like this, that's when guys like yourselves, Cherished Vehicle Insurance, can really make a difference.
It's difficult to describe something like that, or this even, on a comparison website, because you'll put the reg in, it won't even recognise the reg. So, yeah, it is more important than ever that you can speak to someone rather than relying on a computer to quote you.
Perfect. Well, like I say, Cherished Vehicle Insurance have really stepped up to help the show this year. So a huge thank you to you guys, with both your sponsorship and also the public liability insurance. So I want to say a big thank you from me and from everyone here. Genuinely, if it wasn't for guys like this supporting the show, things like this would be near impossible to put on. I can't put this show on without public liability insurance. So a big thank you to you guys. You are here as well. You're doing quotes today, aren't you?
Yes, if you want to come over, we'll have a chat about your car. We'll see what we can do for you, and we can go from there.
Cool. Now, if you do go over to the stand, I've arranged a little something for you all. They have got a genuine ex-BTCC touring car on their stand. and it's currently undergoing restoration. It only moved under its own wheels, not even under its own power yet, under its own wheels, about a month ago. And I found out this week it was coming. I said, right, I know exactly where I'm going to put that. I'll put it on your stand as a thank you, and as something for you all to go and have a look at. It is over on the Cherished vehicle insurance stand, and it's next to all of the other traders. I mean, I've put you in between two model stands, haven't I? Have you bought anything yet? You bought any models yet?
Not yet. I haven't had a chance to look. I've had a flick through some of the old brochures and the old magazines, but photos and everything. But yeah,
So there you go. He's going to end up spending all his money. Ladies and gentlemen, can I please ask you once again, so a big thank you with a round of applause for Cherished Vehicle Insurance for coming down, supporting the show. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today, Simon. So joining us in the arena now, we have got Autobahnstormers. Now, where is you, sir? Come on over. Come on over. You, on your shirt, it has two very important words: Club Chairman. Hello there, Chris. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Welcome to VauxALL. Didn't make it for the first year, but you're here in power and strength for the second one. You've got a great stand, fantastic display of cars. But let's take a step back. Autobahnstormers, who are you?
We are a group of enthusiasts for large engines, rear-wheel drive VauxHalls. Basically from the early Commodores all the way through. We were formed in 1991 and we're still going strong, about 380 members at present. Yeah.
Wow, so large engine at the front, rear-wheel drive, a great combination for out on the road. And we've got quite a range of cars in the arena here. With what we've got VXR 8. What else have we got? We've got a Monza at the end. What have we got here?
There's a Vauxhall Royale.
Yep.
Opel Monza GCE. Vauxhall Senator.
Yep.
Lotus Carlton.
Yeah.
And an Amiga. I'm sorry.
So a Senator and a Lotus Carlton.
And a Monza.
Adam, what have you done to my PA system? You've broken it. A Carlton and Monza.
Monza, that's great.
It's quite interesting seeing those two sat next to each other, because back in the early 90s, when 40RA was nicked, which is now sat over there, they would have had Senators like that chasing it.
It's true, they would, yes. So, Lotus is a fantastic car. In our club, we've got on books of 98 altogether of Lotus Carltons and 15 of the left-hand drive Lotus Amigas.
Fantastic. So which one's yours then, Chris?
Mine's over the side there.
What? You've come down here without your car, Chris?
No, I have indeed. It's over. My car's over there next to the gazebo.
Oh, okay. Next to would that be in prime position for the burger tent there and for the ice cream man?
I've been there already.
Good man. Now, before we move on to your members and talk about the cars, the show, VauxALL, what do you think?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I did come last year individually, but so this year we chatted at the NEC.
Yeah.
And we got ourselves a group together. Yeah. I didn't really know how many were coming at first, but we're glad we got a good dozen cars today.
Well, I think I speak for everybody here. We're glad to have you here. We are really glad to have you here because, big engine, rear-wheel drive. You don't see that very often these days as we start to go through the zero-emission revolution and so forth. And certainly VauxALL haven't really had that in there. What have you done to my microphone, Adam? I'm going to find you later. We haven't had that in the VauxALL portfolio since probably VXR 8.
Yeah, the VXRs, we brought those in when the Holdens came out in 2001. We kind of adopted those, mainly because I owned one. Yeah. And we brought them under our wing, that's all.
Fantastic. Well, Chris, welcome to VauxALL. Thank you very much for coming down and joining us. Who is our lucky owner of our VXR 8? Who is that? Where are you? Come on over, sir. Thank you very much, Chris, for the warm introduction there. Come on over. Now then, come on over. You are in prime position here for that camera, just there, and it got a beautiful close-up of your face then. So, we got a VXR 8 here. Yeah. Is this your first big engine rear-wheel drive VauxALL?
No.
What have we had previously?
I had the Monaro VXR before.
I have a soft spot for those. Why did you go for the upgrade then? Why did you go for the newer one?
Because it sadly got written off the Monaro.
Oh.
Yeah.
And once again, free plug for Cherished Vehicle Insurance. Of course, the insurance would have been very important at that point. So how long have you had this for then? Tell us what we've done for this. Turn around so we can see everyone. How long have we had this? What have we done to it?
This one I've had about 18 months now, and it's fairly basic still. I haven't done any drastic mods on it yet.
Any plans to?
Yes.
That's the answer we like. What's the plan?
I want to get it all remapped and get some more bits done on it.
Supercharger?
Maybe, don't know yet. I'll see.
Okay, we won't let the cat out the bag to the rest of the family and let them know how much you're going to spend. Are you going to supercharge it?
Maybe,
yes. yes, he is. Well, we look forward to seeing that. We look forward to hearing the whine of it, and we wish you many, many miles of fun in your VX. All right, thank you very much for coming down and joining the show. Now then, whose is this one? Who owns who? Ha ha! You, sir. Now, just before we came on mic, you told me that this is the only other one of these is in there.
The only other one here, yes, is in the museum, and it's the same colour.
How about that? I mean, it's right for them to be outside the museum. I mean, we need to keep some safe, but we should keep them on the road and so forth. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, it's a 79 Vauxhall Royale Coupe, which is basically the same as the early Opel Monza on the end, but Vauxhall's own Wayne Cherry redesigned the front and rear of the Royale to Vauxhallize it, really. Because Opel wasn't a very big name back then in the UK, so this became a Vauxhall Royale, although it was made in Germany along with the Monzas.
How about that? And how long have you had this for?
I bought this in 2020.
2020, okay, so we're coming up to 4 years. What did you have before?
All sorts. We haven't got time to list.
So has this lived up to expectation? Were you looking for this, or did you just happen to come across it?
Well, I've had 3 Monzas in the past many years ago, and it came up for sale. And it was particularly interesting because of the engine conversion it's had. It's got a similar engine to what you would find in the Senator police cars.
Yep.
So the 24-valve dual ram.
Yep.
And the manual box.
Oh.
So I bought it basically because of that.
Yep.
Which it's all had to be rebuilt and etc. And it's done a lot of miles since, taking it down to the continent and
I bet it's lovely cruising.
Excellent cruiser. That's what they're built for.
Absolutely. Now, Autobahnstormers, what are they like as a team?
Fantastic. Great people. Monza people and all the others as well. Just lovely people.
Fantastic. Well, a big thank you for coming down and joining us. Hope you enjoyed the rest of the show. Thank you very much. Now then, who's next? So he was like, oh no. Yes, sir, it's you. Hello, how are you?
Very good. Thanks. Yeah, cheers.
Tell us what we've got here.
1985 Opel Monza GSE, 3-litre straight 6 manual.
Just everything that you just said is like tick yes, tick yes, tick yes. I like all of those things. How long you had this for?
I've owned it since 1998. I'm the second owner. Having said that, it's sat in the garage for 20 years. And I started restoring it just over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're nearly there now.
Nearly there. It looks finished. What's left to do?
A few little things like get the wheels done properly, and currently got the heater matrix to sort out. So,
but visually, I mean, stand there and look at it. It looks like, it looks fit to be going in there. It looks museum worthy.
Yeah, very proud of it, very happy with it.
I think you should be. It looks absolutely glorious. I saw it coming in this morning with the sun just going over the line to the car. It looks so lovely. And that low sun was very 1980s-esque. So hopefully, where's my photographers? Hopefully one of them got a good shot of you. We'll have a look. But thank you very much for coming down. Autobahnstormers, good club?
Yeah, great guys, yeah.
Yeah? How long have you been with them?
Just over a year, but great source of knowledge there. Good club, any problems... plenty of people to help, so it's good.
Excellent. And you've got a great display as well. Is it your first time to the show?
It is, yeah.
Well, hopefully you enjoy it. Come and find me later. Tell me your favourite bit. I want to hear feedback. All right, thank you very much. Right then, next. Come on, who owns this one? Hello, you. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thanks.
Good to see you. Now, back in the day, coppers would have had these to be chasing this.
Wouldn't have caught it though.
No. Well, they might have if you were behind the wheel, eh?
Not anymore. Not nowadays. Those days are long gone now.
No, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about this.
It's a Vauxhall Senator, 24-valve, 3-litre. I've had it about 6 years. It's been restored. It's not original. Because typical 90s Vauxhall, it was rusty.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So the body's been done, the headline's been done, the seats have been refurbished. The engine's original.
Well,
So, not much else.
no, that's very good. Is it as comfy as they were back in the day?
Yes, definitely. It's like sitting in an armchair, I'll be honest, and it'll still cruise, it'll cruise I don't know what, but it's comfortably at 80.
Sorry, the coppers aren't here. They're more interested in looking
that's
after
right.
40RA. You can tell us
Yeah.
the real number. So next year, obviously, when Vauxhall has become a roaring success, you can show for me in that to the show.
No problem at all.
Right, you all heard that, yeah? You're all witnesses to that.
You're more than welcome. If your nerves will stand it.
That sounds like a challenge. I like the sound of that.
Not the speed, the standard of driving.
Oh, right, okay, I see. No, I'm sure I will be bliss in the back of the car because they were so comfortable.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they really are. I mean, they're a comfortable 5-seater. You can ask for much more. It's got adjustable suspension, so you can have sort of comfort, firm, sports.
Yeah.
It's got the lot.
And it's like, what year did you say it was? What year?
93.
93. So
Yeah.
she's
31
years old with
Yeah.
adjustable suspension on a Vauxhall,
still
and people
works.
wouldn't think it.
Yeah, and it still works. So, but what it does basically, if you set it on comfort mode, and I think it's about 30 miles an hour, it automatically switches
Yeah.
to sport mode.
Wow.
So,
Fantastic.
you've got comfort low down, but then when you start getting the speed up, it'll go into sport mode.
See, Vauxhall were well ahead of their time. They knew that our roads would be destroyed and that we would have potholes rather than tarmac, and they built this, and then 30 years later we're still comfy. Wonderful to see you. Thank you very much for coming down and supporting the show. Now then, who is our Lotus Carlton owner? Well, hello. How are you, sir? Good to see you. This looks box fresh. Come turn. It looks so clean. How long have you spent cleaning this?
17 years.
And you can tell. I don't want to point that bit out. You might have missed. No, I'm joking. So, a Lotus Carlton, it really doesn't need much introduction because they're so infamous. Why have you gone for one?
So it's always been my dream car since it got released back in the 90s. And it's just taken 17 years to find it. So 2007, this one came up. Went for it, bought it, and won't change my mind. I will keep it.
I went in one of these recently, about a month ago, when I went and met Richard and interviewed him for a video on YouTube, and his friend took me out in 40RA, and even now they feel quick.
They are. I think the trouble is people underestimate the speed and how quickly that your stomach is pushed back with the amount of torque. It still gives a lot of cars a run for its money. Yeah. Obviously, it's not an auto and it's got no electronics. The only tech on that is like ABS. Yeah. So it's a driver's car. Yeah. But it still is a very, very punchy car.
Yeah. I mean, they're incredibly torquey, these. They're almost quite constant in their power delivery, which, people hear turbo and they expect, turbochargers of old, to build up boost and then finally, get a move on. But this, it's got a 5-speed, if I remember right, a 5-speed manual out of a Corvette, 6-speed manual out of a Corvette in there, which is quite long-legged. Yeah. And then you've got an enormous amount of torque from this engine, and it's just this constant pull, and just the rate at the speedo goes, it almost goes quicker than the rev counter.
Yeah, it does. So on the M40 we had to avoid a truck, so literally in third gear you are literally putting your foot down and the torque is pushing you back, and the speeds, before you know it, you've gone over the official speed limit. It's formidable.
Yeah, and it still feels like a very modern car. So I can't imagine what this was like in the early 90s. But we're going to find out at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So hopefully you'll be around for that interview. And then finally we come on to where's our owner? Where are you? Aha! There you are, sir. Good to see you. Thank you very much for coming down and joining us and supporting the show. Tell us what we bought in here.
This is a 1982 3-litre Monza. It's a Series 1.5. Which was a very limited production run before they went to the Series 2. Yeah. Being the S is even rarer as well.
So quite a rare edition you don't see many of these in any form.
No, it will probably be the rarest of all the Monzas. The fact that, the 1.5 S was a very limited run.
Yeah. And how long you had it for?
I've had it 14 years.
Were you looking for that, or did you see it and go, yes, I know what that is, I want it?
No, I was originally looking for a GSE, but the few I looked at over the few years were too far gone. Yeah. This I'd seen on a dealer website the price was astronomical at the time.
Yeah.
And didn't even bother going to look at it.
Yeah.
Then it ended up on eBay as a no reserve. So I was like, I'd better go and have a look.
Have a go. Yeah.
I looked at it. It's really solid.
Yeah.
So, and there she is.
Any regrets?
None at all.
Good. And Autobahnstormers, what are they like?
Great bunch of guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously I've been in the club 14 years.
Yeah.
The knowledge, the help, the friendships, great.
Fantastic. And did you come to Vauxhall last year, or is this your first time?
Yeah, we were here last year. There's a few of us here last year. We just came up independent.
Wasn't it cold? It was so cold last year.
Yeah, it was a bit chilly last year.
Yeah.
Much better this year.
Well, you guys have inspired the theme for this year. We're going for the Performance Vauxhall this year. We've got, you can see over there the collection of Performance Vauxhalls, and you guys bring it up, the real sort of holding the flag for Performance Vauxhall over in the classic side of the show. So a big thank you from me, and thank you from everyone here to Autobahnstormers coming down, supporting the show with this fantastic display of cars. Thank you very much. So we're going to start with a new club to the show. We've already had one new club. We're starting with another new club at the show, and it is the Frontera Monterey Club. Now, Hannah, she's like, I want to film it, I don't want to talk to you. You've got a club stand, which means you get the honour of coming and talking to me. Come on over. Yes, right then. This is yours. I'm a big fan of Fronteras. You don't see them anymore either.
No, they're very few and far between nowadays.
And this one's got a bit of a cool story to it. Wasn't this a search and rescue vehicle or something?
It was search and rescue for most of its life, and obviously upgrade, spotlight, snorkel, CV radio, and it was going to be sent to Ukraine.
Wow. I did not know that. So, and then you got hold of it.
Yeah, the gent had about 20 people asking if they could take it to Ukraine when the Ukrainian war started, and he wanted to keep it in the country. I managed to find it and said, yeah, I'll have it, and saved it.
Wow, that's fantastic. So what spec have we got?
This is a 2.2 diesel Black Diamond, the last one ever produced.
Really?
Yep,
Wow.
And potentially one of the very last off of the line.
Wow, it looks fantastic. I really like. They've just got like this big Tonka toy look about them. Very 90s, haven't they? So why do you like the Frontera then?
Well, obviously my dad had a Monterey growing up, which was known as the Beast, and I thought I want one of them, but obviously 7-seater. When I was looking, I was only 19, so I thought, a bit big for me. So I went with its younger sister and found the perfect car.
And this one's not a bit big for you?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. It's amazing how quickly you fill them up, isn't it?
Yeah, so you come from a small car into one of these and you think you're driving a tank, and then 2 months later it feels like a small car again.
And now you're responsible for the club stand here. It's your first club stand at Vauxhall. How are you finding it?
It's absolutely brilliant. First club stand for this show, and obviously just first show for the club in general.
Really?
So it's brilliant that everyone's come out and supported me.
So this is your first club stand at any show?
Yes, it is.
Wow, we've got the honour. Yes, I think so. Yeah, let's put the hands together, absolutely. Because we'll talk about clubs later. It's not easy running a club, is it?
No, definitely not, especially something that's so hard to find and people don't really know what they are.
Yeah.
It's all old school, the older generation, and obviously the cars are getting on. They're getting very few and far between now.
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you that I'm immensely proud to have you here at the club, and I wish you every success with your club. Well done to you, Hannah. Right then, let's move on. Let's have a round of applause for Hannah. Doing fantastic work there. Now then, who owns this one? Is it me? This is me. Sorry, sir. Yes, that was me. Sorry. So this one, I really like the colour. Very, very 90s. I was looking down the side there because I remember these arches and so forth. So this is a 94.
Yeah, this is a 1994 Nautilus 2.3 turbo diesel, and it's just one of two that are on the roads in the UK at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. So I've only had it for 6 months. So I've been looking for one for a long, long time. Yeah. And this was I found it in a barn, really, to be fair, I suppose. A bit of a barn find. It was in a wooden shed, gathered in dust. It's all been recommissioned from a dealership. So now it's back on the road.
Fantastic. And were you looking for a Frontera?
I've had two previous Fronteras. So I've had like a 3.2, I've had a 2.2 Olympus Sport. So this is my third.
Wow. What is it about them?
I've probably liked them ever since I was a kid, really, in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And I suppose I've got my uncle to thank for that, I suppose, in terms of he used to have one as a kind of a company car.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw it, I loved it, and loved them ever since.
Are they like big Tonka toys?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're quite robust. They are big and chunky on the roads. Clearly, you don't see them anymore. But yeah, they're good. They're a good drive.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for coming. And how are you finding the club, by the way?
Great. So I didn't come here last year, so this is my first time. Looked at it online. Absolutely great.
Yeah, you're enjoying the show?
Yeah, because it's not just the Frontera I have. I've got a couple of VXRs, an Amiga, Calibras. So I've got an assortment at home, but I brought this one today, so yeah.
So this is like your garage, just bigger?
I wish it was my garage, yeah. Yeah, it's great. Really good. And it's great to see VauxALL out there. Yeah, really good.
Good. Well, thank you very much for those kind words. A lot of work goes into the show in putting it on, so to hear that kind of feedback really does mean a lot. Now, who is next? It's you, sir. Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. Tell us what we've got here.
It's a Vauxhall Frontera 2.2 petrol Transglobe.
Well, the 2.2, I'm pretty sure I had the same engine in a Astra coupe back in the day. I got a bit of torque to it. It suits it quite well. How long have you had it for?
I've had it since October 2021, coming up to 3 years in October.
So 3 years of ownership. How's it been in that 3 years?
It's got its little niggles. For reliability, it's very good.
Yeah.
But it's the ventilation valve seals on the are leaking a bit on the tank, and there's a very slight water leak. But I'll put some seal in there, and it's okay at the moment.
Well, there's a good club set up by Hannah here, and I'm sure all of you will help one another, and you're in the right place because there's lots of other Vauxhall owners who I'm sure if you ask for their help they will give it to you. Are you enjoying the show?
I'm very much so, thank you.
Good. Excellent.
Especially with the museum coming up, I'm going to go in there and have a look.
Well, in the museum it's the Vauxhall Heritage Collection up on its own level. Wait until you see that, that's great. And then coming up this afternoon we've got the 40RA interview. Hopefully I'll see you around for that. That would be good. Very good indeed. Now then, finally, who is you? You, sir. Now yours is a bit different because we've only got 2 doors rather than 4.
Yep, that's right. 3-door B series.
Tell us a bit about this.
I've had it about 18 months. The reason I got it, I do a lot of off-roading at a shooting club, so I just wanted something with a bit more ride height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet it's the only one there.
The only one.
The only Frontera.
Yeah. Loads of people come up and say, "Oh, I used to have one of these back in the 90s and everything like that." So yeah.
Why did you, apart from the ride height then, because you could have lifted, say, a Land Rover or something like that, what else was it about the old Frontera?
Much like everyone else here, my dad had one in the 90s. So he had a 3-door black B series as well. So it's essentially the same car, just in green.
Very cool, very cool. And you're in good company as well. You know, there's lots of 90s cars around you, some 80s cars around you as well. So I imagine you're reminiscing a bit.
Well, I was quite young in the 90s, but I go to VBOA as well every year, so used to seeing a lot of these cars there. Yeah. So.
Very good, very good. Well, thank you very much for bringing that, buddy. And Frontera owner JOV, where are you? Who are we going to start with? Who's first? Yeah, is this you? Is it? This is yours. This is yours. Now you know that I like a Calibra.
I do know you own one, don't you?
I own 4 of them. Something's very wrong in my head. Tell us what we got here.
So it's an SE8. I've had it since October 2017. Apart from being lowered, alloys and a respray, it's standard.
Well, they need a little bit of love, don't they? The paint doesn't last forever, and she looks absolutely gleaming.
Thank you very much. It was painted about 3 years ago now.
Yeah, no, it looks fantastic. I check a little classic splitter down there.
You got to a 90s car, haven't you?
No, you have indeed. And I also noticed that you two are sharing very similar, if not identical, wheels.
I think they're called just Spectra lines, so someone might correct me with that. But
yeah, I'd noticed as it was coming in. Before this Calibra, had he had any other Calibras? Turn around so everyone can see. Had he had any other Calibras?
I had an SE7 before this one.
Yeah? They're not bad cars, are they?
Yeah, I like them.
Good, me too. Me and you are good buds, I like that. Right then, next up we move from this car's, if this is the big sister, we move to the little sister. You don't see these anymore. No. They used to be everywhere. Where did they all go?
Scrapyard, probably.
I know. Sad story for many of them. Yeah. But They're good fun little cars, aren't they?
Fantastic little car.
Based on there's inside, it looks like it's pretty much Corsa, as in this look like Cavalier inside, but it is its little sister.
Yeah, I've just changed that to a leather interior in it last year. Picked it up for next to nothing. So, because nobody's got a car to put it in.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's looking. I mean, it still looks OEM. How long have you had the Tigra?
I got in 2011 for 250 quid.
No, no. Did it look like this?
It weren't bad. Arches were gone on back, but I've had it resprayed about 2018.
Yeah. Well, it looks great. It looks absolutely great. I've seen it at a few shows, and it always turns out good. And like I say, you just don't see Tigras that often.
There's only me ever turns up with one.
I know. We were meant to have a Tigra Owners Club here as well, but unfortunately they couldn't make it in the end. So I'm glad you're here representing the Tigra.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I like the shirt as well. Very apt. So you could go to a Land Rover rally in that. They get on well with you. Now then, we speak again. Right, so last weekend I had my first weekend off in about 8 weeks. I kid you not, I'm doing shows pretty much every single weekend, and I still work full time as well. So I'm at work Monday to Friday, and I'm doing this at weekends. It's my first weekend off in 8 weeks. I'm on holiday, camping, relaxing with the family. This man rings me up on Facebook and starts showing me all of the Vectras that he's got in his yard. I kid you not, he got like 12 of these.
20.
20? But you didn't show me 20 on the camera.
8 Supers. And I've just had it signed by the man himself.
Good man.
Cleland.
Good man. Good man. So tell us, let's talk about this one to start with.
Right. Well, I bought this pretty much as it is, but I put the wheels on it, had the lowering kit on it, and the side skirts, so I thought it was ideal time to do a remembrance of the BTCC from the 90s.
Yes.
So that's why I did the flying chip.
Excellent. And have you seen on Cherished Vehicle Insurance, they've got the BTTC from the noughties? Very cool.
I have.
And you've got 19 others that aren't here with us. I'll tell you what you could do. You could go around and ask for volunteers, and we could try and get them all here next year.
Do you know what the sad thing is? They're the only two what I've bought today that's here today.
Well, if you hadn't bought them, they wouldn't be here. And this is, I tried to make this a celebration of all VauxALls, and we've got a great selection of cars.
Makes it more special for me to be doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because if we didn't have people like you doing it, they'd disappear.
And I'm pulling back real bad ones as well. Started fully restoring them.
So, why? Why this specific car?
I always get asked this. I don't know. It's just all the BTC for me.
Yeah.
And it had to be the saloon.
Yeah.
It's hard to... I've always loved the car. I come out in 2012, and then my lady friend decided to take me to a VBOA show 2 years ago. And as soon as I see a Super Tourer, that was it. I was buying one every 2 weeks.
So you started doing this like a couple of years ago?
2 years ago.
Where is your missus? Where is she? Where? Hi. Do you regret taking him to VBOA now? No, see? I'll tell you what. She's a good one there, because if I said that to my missus, she'd be like, yes, absolutely, he's never allowed out of the house again.
She's claimed one.
No, fantastic. Wonderful to see this. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you. And finally, whose is this one? Come on. You can wait, Marshall. That's better. This. Well, it's still red.
Yeah. That's lived in a garage all its life.
Oh, that would be why. I hope it's not. It should still stay red after today, because we've got a very rare phenomenon called the sun here with us today. Tell us about this.
It was a customer's car. She had it from brand new. I bought it about 6 months ago when she stopped driving. It's done 28,000 miles from new.
Wow.
Always serviced it, MOT'd it for her and looked after it for her. So bought it off her when she didn't want it anymore.
So it's pretty box fresh.
Yeah.
Wow.
1 litre. That's been doing about 1,500 miles a year.
Wow.
That's covered about 135 miles this morning getting here. So
that's probably the longest it's moved in many, many years.
It's never been out of Norfolk.
Wow. Well, welcome to the Midlands. Welcome. You'll like it, I promise. Just don't stand here too long, because they'll start modifying you. They can't help themselves.
That was the plan.
Is that the plan, is
was,
it?
Was, not now.
And now you feel guilty, you've got to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Well, final question then. JOV, what they're like?
Good.
Yeah?
We're a mixed club. Sort of try and be like a family club, really. But
I think JOV is a great club. Like every time I go past there, always get a really warm, friendly welcome, and you've got a real selection of cars on your stand as well. So you're over there near to where all the trade stands are. Great selection of cars, as you can see, quite a variety of cars here with us from JOV, and indeed from the Frontera Club as well. I think it's great. What do you think of the show?
it's good, yeah. Second year we've been. Obviously attended last year, and hopefully bigger turnout next year.
Hopefully, but look at the weather. You asked for better weather, and I have provided better weather. Obviously, I had nothing to do with that. We know that. So there we are, ladies and gents. A brand new club and a returning club. Great selection of cars. Yes.
Can I just say thank you for organising this all for us? Without us, we're without you. But
you're welcome.
But
you're very welcome.
We know it's a massive effort, and we all just want to say thank you.
Oh, thank you.
So really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much. That's very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now then, let's start with you, Sir Gooden. You've had this a while, haven't you? Yeah. How old was this car when you bought it?
10 months.
10 months. So you've had this car 49 years.
Yep.
Wow. In that time, there must be so many memories in this car.
Yes. Yeah, loads of memories.
What can you share with me an abiding one that immediately springs to mind?
Well, when I met my wife, when I first met her, she thought she was going home in a Capri. I don't know why.
Did you hear that then? There's a mic on top of that camera, and all it heard then was, "Ooh, hey, what's happened here? Oi, who's in there? Get off my mic! Get off my mic in there!" I'll try that again. All I heard was, "Ooh." So she thought it was a Capri. When she got out, did she still think it was a Capri?
Well, it was a few days later, I think she realised.
But when they were developing this car, one of the test tracks that they used it on, the Capri, they would take round and they would lift off as they went round one corner. In this, they went absolutely flat.
Wow. Didn't know that.
Well, there you are. You can, if you have a look on YouTube, there is a full documentary that we put together at Thruxton for the 50th anniversary of this car, and I put an enormous amount of research into that documentary. I can't remember all of it off the top of my head, but I fell in love with this car doing that story because it's such a bizarre sort of story. You know, they wanted sort of a performance coupe, and they got sort of the friends which had got the flat nose on the front of it. And to achieve the performance targets that they wanted to get to, Wayne Cherry, who we all know, said, well, we need to work on the aerodynamics, and that's where our Droop Snoot came in.
Yeah.
And when they launched it in 72, 73, they intended to sell 30,000 of them. Do you know how many they sold?
204.
204. Who can have a guess why? Come on, shout. Anyone out there? Go on, shout. Huh? Oil. Good. Yes, it was the oil crisis. Someone over there. If someone had shouted, because they're rubbish, you'd have been banned. They're not. They're fantastic cars. These very different because you've got more performance coming from the engine, 2.3 litre. You've got the dog-legged 5-speed gearbox in there as well, rear-wheel drive. Really well set up. Beat the performance benchmark that they set for it. But oil crisis came along, killed it off. In fact, they had some of these left over. Do you remember they had some of those left over? What did they put them on?
On sports hatch.
And I think you've got... I saw one coming in. You've got two. Is one of them silver on your stand? Now, that's unusual, because they should all be that burgundy red.
Yeah. Silver Bullet was silver, wasn't it?
Yeah.
197 sports hatches.
Yeah. So very, very rare things. And here we are celebrating 50 years of the... Can you believe it's 50 years? I can't believe it's 50 years. Now, this was one of the Thruxton cars.
It was.
And if you have a look on YouTube, there's some amazing footage of that race, and they really are throwing them around.
Yeah, and on the video that I've seen, there's a bit where there's like a scrutineer, and he looks at under the bonnet, and then it's a door open and pans down the side of this car. Yeah,
and it's this one.
Yes.
It's this one. So how long have you had this?
Since '92, so about 32 years.
Why did you go for one of these?
saw a little tiny picture in a car mag, and I just said to my dad, I want one of them.
Right.
And that was it.
And I mean, there weren't many around.
Not even then.
So, was it a bit of a hunt?
It was a hunt, yeah. I found it in Classic Car Weekly.
Yeah?
Yeah, it just said it was in a race or something, the bloke said, and I ended up buying it.
Fantastic. And now you've got it all those years later, and it still looks glorious. It still looks fantastic. Hello. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Another Thruxton car. But my first question is, how are you finding the show?
Wonderful.
Yeah, you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's very good.
Good, that's what I like to hear. Now, we've got a great display over by the entrance. We had a fantastic display at Thruxton. Were you there earlier this year?
Yes.
Now, for those of you who weren't there, very quickly, tell us what we did back at Thruxton.
We had a lineup of about 25 silver Droop Snoots.
Yeah.
It was just excellent.
And we took them all out onto the circuit and did this parade lap, and it was phenomenal. I was in one of the front cars, leaning out of it, getting shot, and it was just incredible seeing them all. What's it like then to own one of these?
Quite challenging.
Yeah. Why is that then?
Hard to get the bits nowadays.
Yeah.
But they're good cars.
Yeah. To drive?
I'm not really sure. I don't drive mine very much.
No, it's not going well, this, is it? To look at.
Lovely.
There we go. We're back on track. And what's the Droop Snoot group like?
Wonderful.
That's the right answer. That's the right
Very
answer.
helpful as well. That's the main thing. Helpful.
Yes. Well, this is the thing. You do need clubs to support cars like this, especially. I mean, they get rarer.
Yeah.
As the years goes on. I mean, you know me, I like my Calibras. They're turning into quite rare beasts, even though they were very popular. These were rare right from the factory.
Yes. And this is one of only 6 that were modified by Tim Stock.
Yeah.
After the race.
Yeah.
So even rarer.
Fantastic. Well, it's wonderful to see it here. Now, Paul, do you have some awards to do? Yes? Right, okay, so we're going to... I don't know what these awards are. So what awards are we doing?
We've got some of our own club awards, which we're doing for the best cars that are on display today.
Yeah.
We've also got some of our trophies, and we've got 2 very special awards.
Right, okay. So do you want me just to hand over to you so you can do the awards?
Yeah, but stay where you are.
Oh, okay. I was going to go and put kettle on, to be honest. I'll go and have a cup of tea. Okay, I won't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, I hand over to you now to the safe hands of Paul Sidebottom from the Droop Snoot Group. Please put your hands together. For Paul. After you, sir.
Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome.
This guy behind me does a phenomenal job of doing these events, and I think it's quite difficult and nobody ever praises him or gets anything for it. So he came to us at Thruxton earlier on in the year and put on, free of charge, the most amazing video that we could have ever thought. His dedication, his enthusiasm to the show and to what he did, we want to reward him for that. Also, we want to reward one of our long-standing members for his support and what he put into creating that amazing 50th anniversary at Thruxton. So if I could ask for Terry Cobble to come into the stand, please.
Come on, Terry, you're in trouble with me. We've been sent to the principal's office. Come on, it's me and you. I don't know what we've done.
So while we were there at Thruxton, we also had a photographer who did some fantastic shots of the car. So what we would like to do as a club, as our appreciation to Tim and to Terry for what they did for the 50th anniversary, we'd like to present them with these Droop Snoot Group.
Don't drop it. Don't drop it.
It's a picture of the startup lineup at Thruxton earlier on in this year. So I would like to present these 2 guys with.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow, fantastic. Wow. That is fantastic. Honestly, this picture does not do what you guys did justice. I mean, it's an amazing picture, but when you stood there and saw them 50 years on, like, I mean, I spent probably 2 weeks researching that video and reading about them and so forth, and seeing them, it was just goose pimples all over. It was incredible. So a big thank you to you guys for having me there and for helping me put that documentary together. But this is absolutely delightful. I'm going to put this up at home. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. So this is the main arena, and that is the commentary point there. And usually I don't get much chance to get out and have a look around, but as this Vauxhall is my show, we are going to go and have a look around. So let's have a look at all the clubs and the cars here today. Let's go. Hello. I almost bought that SC5, you know. Look at that, that's lovely, isn't it? Very nice indeed. Nice Mark 1. Do like this. Very cool. Now, this is one club stand. This is 80s, 90s Vaux over here. Over here, these are all of the individual entries. Look at this. How cool is that? That's very cool, isn't it? Next to a couple of Bergs. This was one of the first cars in as well. Well done to you for getting in here so early. Now, if we carry on down in this direction, here are all of the traders. So we've got models here. If I find one of your little ones there. We've got Auto Jumble. Hello, Auto Jumble. For all your bits and bobs. We've got classic literature. This is a genuine British touring car. Genuinely is, and it's currently going through restoration, and it is on the show sponsor stand, Cherished Vehicle Insurance. Hello, Cherished Vehicle. Hello, you having a good day? Good. This is Blue Pig. Everyone getting their entry photos in there. Next up, Daz's models. Even more models, look at that. And then Maguire's, big thanks to Maguire's who've come down. They've clearly got the right kind of stuff. You guys have done it right because you've got a bit of shade. That's what you need. Big hello to Maguire's. Now, over here, we've got some more individual entries. Look at this. When's the last time you saw one of those? Probably in about 5 minutes. As there's so many cars here. Look at this. I'm so pleased with the turnout. Over here, this is VBOA, Astra Mark II as well. Look at the arches on this. That's not stock, is it? Nor is that. What? Very nice. And then Lotus Carlton. Of course, the big news this year is 40RA, and it is on site. We're going to go and have a look at that in just a minute. There's the guys from VBOA. Hello, VBOA. Hello. This is Vauxhall Drivers Club. And look at this. You know I love these. I do love them on overs. Look at the size of that. Woof. And then look in there. Look how far back that is. Wow. What an absolute beast. Now, if we carry on down, wow, look, I didn't even see this come in. That's awesome. Over here is JOV, this is just Opel Vauxhall. Tigra, probably one of the only ones here. I think you just don't see the Tigras. Who'd have thought the Tigra would become such a rare car? This, look at that. Look how clean that is. Wow. Hello, it's JOV. Hello, JOV. Are you having a nice day? Yeah. Now, for everyone on YouTube, what's Vauxhall like?
Absolutely brilliant.
That's the right answer. I saw someone I was going to say it's rubbish. Woo. Now that Super Tourer. The man who owns this has got 20 of them. And then this is why I like JOV. Look at the mix of cars. Astra VXR, Vectra, Calibra, and then these three here might just look like Astra hatches, but they're not. These are genuine 888 builds. If memory serves me right, they only built about 100 of those. Calibras, we love Calibras, we'll go and see more of them. Now look over here, Monaros, is that a GTS 8? What? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. And then this way, more JOV. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, don't get me wrong on cross, because that probably came out of Calibra turbo, but still, look at that. And this one, this has been in hibernation for years. Pretty sure it's one of the original Courtney builds. What? That is exactly what I want. One of those. Now, let's head over here to Cavalier and Chevette Club. Look at this, what a fantastic display these guys have put on. That rattling is that smiley old Transit ice cream van, but here, Cavalier and Chevette Club with a fantastic display. Through the years, early, later, and then look, you've got cabs right at the back over there as well. There it is, GSI 2000. I had people asking me about that. And then, see, look, more clubs over here. It's Club Vaux. Let's go and see the guys at Club Vaux. Hello, Club Vaux. Hello. 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 I'm doing a walk around of the stand. Where's yours?
The end one.
There you go. It's in the video. Right, next. Let's move. Look at this. Wow. I didn't even realise this was here. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. That's all my videos are. It's just me walking around going, wow, wow, wow. Who put that there? Anyway, let's keep going around this way. Where is it?
Hey, you don't want that one.
And, right, let's go round this way, because over here is this, which is a new build, and the guy who built this has built a 888 Astra van out of an Astra coupe, which is very cool, and that's his new build. I think that looks great. Now, I have a real soft spot for these. Real soft spot for the Edition 100. I would really quite like one of those. One day, one day, one day. Now, let's head over in this direction. Hey, when's the last time? You don't see these very often, do you? Huh? Look at that, look at that. GSI. Huh? Is there? Right, well, let's go and find that, shall we? Now, over this side, celebrating 50 years, it is the Droop Snoot. And look at that, what a display. Walking into the museum, all of the Droop. So a big thank you to Droop Snoot Group for coming out and supporting the show. Big thank you to the whole team. Let's go and see some of them. Hello, team. Hello. Hello, Droop Snoot. Hello. Look, he's forgotten me now. Hello. Wait, almost. Almost. Good old DTV. Ready. Ready. What? Look at that. Now, I've got to keep moving around, because coming up next is the interview that you've all been waiting for. It is the interview with Frontera, with the original owner and the police officer, Chief Detective Inspector, who chased the car originally. Or did he? Well, we're about to find that out. Look! Silver anniversary, Quicksilver. What? I'm so glad this is back. Wow, wow, wow. And back here, look at that. Now the sun is finally out, so it looks black, right? Let's get really close. It's actually really, really dark red. Wow, right. Vivas, we celebrated, hello Vivas. We celebrated 60th anniversary of the Viva, beg your pardon, last year. Or was it 50? 60? I can't remember now.
Technically.
Aviva's joining us, and then this side over here for the first time at Vauxhall is Autobahnstormers. Now these guys, big engine at front, rear wheel drive, and look at what they brought along with them. Isn't that fantastic? Our Lotus Carlton. Some of these in the arena first thing this morning. Great to see Autobahnstormers coming and joining us. I'm going to show you a car behind these in a minute, but first, just over here, look who it is. It is the one and only 40RA. I know what you're going to say. It's not the one because it was recovered and it was ruined. You are right, and we're going to find out the true story in just a minute. That's coming up in a minute, but first, let's head back over this way, keeping with the 90s theme. A new club, Frontera Club, joining us. And this is the first show that this club has ever done. So a big thank you to those guys coming out and joining us. Next up, we all know I love a Calibra, and look at this. Yes, a convertible. I didn't know they did convertibles. Well, hang on. They actually didn't, but they did do a few sort of tests from what I remember, and a few were converted. That's very cool. Very cool. If we keep going in this direction, Club Calibra, so supportive of this show and all the work that I do and all of my Calibras. This one won on Redline Comps. Let's see which other ones I recognise. And then the Manta owners. Of course, the car that Calibra replaced. Now, if we go around, oh wow, hello. Look at that. That's rather special. But look at this. You got Manta GTE here. Next to it, look,
Well, yes.
i300, and that right next to it, i200. Look at that. Wow. They look so cool coming in first thing this morning. Let's keep mooching down this way. Look, it's an LE. What? And this one, I'm pretty sure it is. Let me have a quick look. Right, this is an LE with, yes it is, 8,000 miles on the clock. It is LE number 1, and it's here. Wow. And this one was literally just finished 24 hours ago for the show. Of course, very popular conversion now, the B204. Wow. There we go. Right, let's keep mooching in this direction because we've got more clubs over here. This one here, this is a new club to the show. They're called the Grand Slams, and they are the Adams. And all of this side over here, this is all performance Vauxhalls and VXRs. So, Grand Slams looking, well, grand, it has to be said. Look at that, that's very cool, isn't it? Grand Slams were only meant to have about 6 cars here, but look how many they've ended up with. That's fantastic. That's what we like to see. Also, a new club, the Mariva VXRs. You just don't see that. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the rarest of all the VXR models. How about that? Over the back, here, along here, these are all individual entries. And up the top, there, you were going to see them in the arena in just a moment, is Eastside VauxALL owners and VauxWeb. They're up over there. In fact, let's have a quick look. In fact, wait 1 second. Let's take a step back because this is a little Suzuki, but look what's under the bonnet. How on earth did he squeeze that in? I don't know. I will find out. Let's carry on up to the top of here. Up we go. It's non-stop. So, I wonder if he's just left that out in the sun or if it's painted that way. Answered in comments. So we've got Eastside VauxALL owners up over here, and in this direction we have got VauxWeb. I do believe we've got some individual entries up here too. Look at this, I like this B. That's very cool. Very cool, like that a lot. There we are. Another Cavalier convertible. Doesn't get more 90s than a Mark III in that colour, does it? Right then, let's head down in this direction.
The newest Vauxhall here?
Where is it? Where's the newest? Is that the newest one? the newest one here. Well, we had VauxALL here with us 6 months ago. We had VauxALL here last year with the new GSE, and there it is. Now we've actually got the new Astra here on display. Fantastic. Right, let's keep going in this direction, because in this direction we have got Insignia and Vectra VXR owners who've put on a great display. Quite a few of them have had to shoot off. Being on a Sunday, you've got long journeys home and you've got work tomorrow. So a few have shot off. It was much busier this morning. And then, hello guys, hello. Here, we have got Insignia culture. Now look at that. Now that's a setup, isn't it? Nice fan around. And they're set up behind there. Hello, I'm coming over to you guys now, so you better run over to your stand. Run, quick. Over here, modified Vauxhall Owners Club, MVOC. Good to see you guys. Nice little setup. And just the other side of them is Z20 Let. Hello to Z20 Let. Now look, there's a little Corsa C here. And let's see what they've managed to squeeze under the bonnet there. What? There we go. Very cool. Right, let's head over in this direction, because on this side we have got Team Arden. It's just a sea of blue. Apart from you, what's this? You've carbon fibered. Yeah. You're Arden blue. And then we're going to come over, once we've gone to the end of here, we're going to do a 180, because coming in the other direction, just behind me, is the VXR Owners Club. And I set them a challenge of getting 101 cars here this year. They haven't quite done it, but they have got a lot of cars. You ready for this? Look at this. Whoa! VXR Owners Club, they have well and truly knocked it out the park. Let's go and have a look over here. Look, here we go. Look, baby VXR. How cool is that? Hello!
Hello!
How cute! It's sweet! And then here we go, let's keep going down. Look, they've even done them in colour order. This guy, look at this. He's come all the way from Netherlands. Watch out, I hope it was worth it, sir. Your car is in the video. There you are. Look at this. Modded a lot. I like the fact that you've colour coded. That's very cool. That is very cool. And then, hello. And then one of our final stops is going to be these guys over here. Look at that, how cool is that? In fact, this is going to be the final stop. He has put a lot into that. That looks amazing, and it sounds even better. Right, that's a quick walk around of VauxALL 2024. It's back next year, but before that, let's head back over there to the main arena. It's 40RA interview time. You all pretty much know this car. If you don't, you're going to find out all about it. And I am incredibly proud and pleased to welcome these guests to VauxALL. Can I please ask you to give a very warm welcome to Richard Austin, Brian Osborne, and Ryan. I forgot your last name. What is it, Brian? Ellen, come on over. Come sit down for me. Come on. So, Richard, come sit down, then we're going to have Brian, and then you, sir, on the end. So, we're going to sit down. I've never sat down at one of my shows before. I'm terribly sorry for you guys over there for not having a good view. I'm really sorry. But we've got cameras here, so you'll be able to watch it, and you'll be able to hear everything as well. If you do want to move around, there's plenty of spaces over here as well, so feel free to come around and move and join us. So, hello again, Richard. Hello. Good to see you again. I am going to hand the mic over to you so we can all hear you. We've also got Brian Osborne with us. Now, you were the Chief Detective Inspector back in the early 90s and were responsible for trying to track 40RA down. And Ryan, hang on, there we go. And Ryan here, you did a lot of chasing of this recently when you did the story of this car at the start of the year. A fantastic story, fantastic article. So we're going to speak to all three of you You've all got very different takes on this story. You obviously own the car, had the car taken from you. You chased the car, and then 30 years later, you were chasing the car, just albeit in a very different way. So, Richard, let's start with you. The Lotus Carlton. Let's go back to even before that fateful night, and let's talk about what life was like for you. Let's scene set. It's the early 90s. What was going on in your life? What were you doing then?
Well, I was a new father. I was looking after my family. I'd got a business in Evesham selling computers, and it was going well. And fortunately, I was able to get rid of that horrible pink Porsche that I was driving and replace it with a lovely Lotus Carlton. And therein lies the rest of the story.
So you got the pink Porsche, as you described it to me. And you said to me when we met earlier this year that you weren't that keen on it, didn't really like it. And you're talking to one of your guys. You ran was it a computer business that you ran? Yeah. He mentioned, have you looked at a Lotus Carlton? And that's where you started looking into the car.
Yeah, that's right. And this guy that told me, why don't you have a look at the Lotus Carlton? And he's the sort of person that you'd think wouldn't have a clue about cars and wouldn't have a clue about a Lotus Carlton. I had seen one at the Lotus dealer, only just manoeuvring round at the Vauxhall dealer in Worcester. But then I looked into it, and basically it was right up my street. Yeah. So I went gallivanting along it.
So, unfortunately, that other Mike died, so I have to do the whole 1-2, 1-2. So when you saw it and first drove it, what was that like? I mean, I can't imagine I've been out in your car. Mike Mitchell took me out in yours. But I can't imagine what this would have been like in the early 90s. What was it like when you first drove it?
Like it is now, phenomenal. Really quick, and the overtaking acceleration was mind-blowing then, and it is still. There's not much that will touch it. It's somebody told me earlier that it was the fastest car in the world from 30 to 50 or something like that. It was. I've got an ex-policeman next to me, but he's not on duty. So, I've done some. I remember one particular time, coming up behind, because it was a very threatening-looking car, and people generally moved over, but occasionally you got people being awkward. And this one time, I was started overtaking him. Of course, he closed up on the car in front. I just kept the throttle down, went past about 5 cars. It was that quick. And I won't tell you how fast it went on the M45 in that era, but it was well in excess of double the speed limit.
Wow. Wow.
But it's good. And this one, this had the turbos redone, new injectors, and John, who's over there somewhere, did all the work on it, and it's as good as a brand new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, obviously, brings back many memories for you. Hopefully, many good memories. I remember when we met earlier this year, and we were talking about the car and reminiscing about it. You said that was it one of your children opened a passenger door onto a cyclist and had to pay to have the bicycle repair and the door repaired. So it was your family car, albeit an almightily quick family car. So let's go to that night. Let's walk through what happened. Over to you.
Well, I was fast asleep in bed, and I heard the car alarm going. Looked out, because the car was below my bedroom window, looked out, and there it was being tampered with by some guys. And anyone in their right mind who'd thought about it probably wouldn't have done what I did. But I went tearing downstairs. Well, actually, first thing I did was I opened the window and shouted shouted to them and told them to fuck off, you bastards. But they didn't. So I went tearing downstairs, and I was stark bollock. So there was one of my wife's jackets on the banister. I just put it over my shoulders, popped outside thinking, I've rumbled them, they'll go. And this guy just stepped up to me and he knocked me flat. So the next thing I remember, I'm lying spread-eagled on my drive, and I can hear, as I'm coming round, I could hear crunching and cracking of fiberglass, and they were using a Sierra Cosworth as a pusher. So you've got fiberglass against fiberglass, and it's not a pretty sound. And they were pushing it off up the road. And the next thing I did, run back in the house, call to my wife, say, call the police, I'm going after them. Now, I know this is crazy, but at this stage, I've probably only been awake 3 minutes, 4 minutes tops. So you're not really in the most sensible state of thinking. So I jumped in her Renault Espace and go off after them, and they're using this Sierra Cosworth, pushing the car up the road, and then they turn left up a quieter road, and it was pretty bit uphill, and I'm following them up there. When they got to the top of the hill, they were obviously fiddling with the electrics to try and get it going, and there's me sat in a Renault Espace with no clothes on. And there's at least, I'd already seen 3 of them, there might have been more, wondering what the hell am I going to do? Anyway, the next few moments, a Cavalier 4-wheel drive turbo came reversing down the hill as fast as it could possibly go and smashed into the front. I tried to get away, reversed a bit, but smashed into the front of the Renault Espace and, severely damaged it, steam pouring out everywhere, and that was my hopes of doing anything, severely defeated. And the next thing I know, they got the car going, and I could hear it driving off into the distance, and I limped back home in the very bruised Renault Espace, and that was the sum of that particular night.
It was sort of ironic, there was a car alarm going off as you were telling that. But, so that one night has now got all of these people sat here listening, and so many more other people on the internet telling all these stories about it and so forth. Now we're going to move from you, Richard, and we're going to move onto you, Brian. So, you've chased 40RA. I say chased. You were responsible for trying to track down this gang. Now, for young members of the audience who don't fully appreciate the Lotus Carlton, when it was announced, they actually tried to get it banned. They debated it in the House of Commons, and they said, it's so fast, this car, it's quicker than most of the Ferraris that are available at the day, that if someone steals it, we'll never catch it. We saw we had a senator in here earlier off Autobahnstormers. They were trying to keep up with this, and it was a more powerful engine. It was just a different league in terms of performance. And where this was stolen, they were effectively going over 3 counties. And back in the day, the police didn't always talk to one another that clearly, did they, between them?
Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, just to put the record straight, I was a detective sergeant, temporarily in charge of operations in Bromsgrove in the CID there. So this took place in Evesham, which was only a stone's throw away, the incident regarding Richard and 40RA. But I knew nothing about that, and such was the communication between even neighbouring police stations in the day. However, we very quickly became aware of 40RA, the source of 40RA, and obviously the incident involving Richard by way of a series of armed robberies, and I say armed robberies in the sense that these criminals, we have some video of these criminals in the day, and they were armed with batons and all that kind of thing, nothing more than that, but sinister enough. And we had, I think, 10 or 11 offences. Now, the difficulty for us then was the fact that the offences took place over 3 police forces. There's West Mercia, where I was based, Warwickshire, and West Midlands. I was based in Rubery at the time, and we had several offences, and Rubery bordered West Midlands as it bordered Warwickshire, and that inherently caused a problem. Because, as you rightly say, Tim, communication between police forces in those days was, to say the least, not very good. In fact, police forces sometimes withheld information from each other, all about kudos in the day. So these offences started to take place, and the media hype was incredible in the day, based on the fact that myth, folklore started to gather momentum in that, the strapline almost was, it's the car that the police force or police vehicles can't catch. Well, I suppose that's correct, but in truth, there were very little or no actual pursuits for this car. It was seen, sighted, sighted, that's the same thing, but it was seen after the event, but it very, very quickly got away. And that's what actually happened. And in that locality, there were several miles of motorway very nearby. The one thing that we did have, which was a bonus, was the cooperation of the 3 forces with the Central Motorway Patrol Group in the day. So they were all alerted, and for the period of time that these offences were taking place, and I can't remember over what period that was, we would every night be prepared for 40 RA. And we never got anywhere near it on the basis that the offences took place and the car disappeared. Today, it wouldn't happen because the vehicle would be very quickly seen on the technology that's available. The real galling part of this vehicle is that the vehicle had the original number plates retained. So 40 RA was emblazoned across this car as it was used for these offences. We were used to vehicles like Ford Cosworths being on false plates, but this vehicle was taunting us, in fact. It was taunting the police, knowing, or the criminals in it knew, that they would get away with the spoils of their crime. So that's the very broad story, but the media hype was incredible. And with that came that came of great interest to the public. We were glad about that because the only way we were going to find this was a member of the public seeing it somewhere. But I imagine the criminals that were using this for the offences probably enjoyed that as well. So it was a bit of a melting pot of kind of interest, and the intention was, at the end of the day, was to try and rid the roads really of this car in the hands of the criminals. And every morning during this period, by the way, I'd come to work, and my first question of the chaps in the CID were, has 40 RA been out tonight? No. Oh, thank goodness for that. So the intention was to try and, we would never catch it, was to get it back from these criminals. And we did, in the end, by virtue of using the police helicopter. Putting the helicopter up at various times, spooked the criminals, we think. And then that increased the hype from the media. Even the police helicopter can't catch 40 RA. So it went on. So I think I've been talking enough, haven't I? That's all right. I'm almost excited. This thing is the one thing, this car is the one thing in my service that's come back to bite me, honestly.
Just fascinating hearing it, first hand. Of course, back in the day, they used it was ram raids. It was crashing into newsagents to get cigarettes, alcohol, money. That was what they were. That's what they were really looking for. That was the way to make money.
Yeah, what I forgot to say, as he snatches the microphone back, these offences were serious offences in the day. Armed robberies, goodness knows to this day how many were involved, where they are today, because the people that are not sat here are the criminals that actually stole the thing and committed all those offences. Because when this was abandoned, we expected it to be carried on with another stolen, powerful car. But it never was. It was almost, they'd had their moment with 40RA and ditched it in the canal. And the offences stopped at the same time. The good news for us was, but not for Richard, was the fact that the car was now off their hands. Because potentially, had there have been a pursuit of any sort with the police, it could have ended a lot worse. The most serious offence of all of this was Richard being assaulted, actually. There was no violence, nobody hurt in respect of the offences committed by this. But, yeah.
No, fascinating to think back then. That was sort of the currency of criminality. That's what was valuable. In fact, I'm going to show you something. You guys don't know that I'm going to do this, but I went on Google Maps and I found the newsagents. You went back there for the photo shoot in Rubery, and opposite the newsagents is the police station. Okay, so over here, I'm going to use you, madam. Hope you don't mind. You are the front door to the police station, okay? This is how far away the front door to the newsagents was. It's about there. That's how far away it was. And they raided it. And the only thing that happened, if memory serves me right, was they put a baton through the back window. That's as close as they got to it. Now, 40RA was left in the canal, ditched in the canal over in Knoll, I think it was. You, at this point, Richard, had already sort of detached yourself from that Lotus Carlton and were actually, it's kind of ironic this, because our show is sponsored by an insurance company, but you were having a bit of an argument with your insurance company to get it replaced. See, there you go, Cherished Vehicle Insurance, free plug for you, the importance of having the correct insurance, especially for something special like this, because you were looking to replace it pretty much.
Yeah, it was a long, laborious negotiation with the insurance company. They offered me a derisory amount initially, and they kept increasing it, and I kept saying, well, look, I can't buy a replacement car for that sort of money. And in the end, they surrendered and said, well, if you find one, equivalent sort of specification, mileage, etc., we'll buy it for you. So we found another one that was down in Devon at the time, and eventually got the money out of them, bought that car, and I kept that one for 18 months, 2 years, I can't remember exactly, and sold it to a friend of mine who did the same sort of thing. So that was my second Lotus Carlton, and this one here is my third. So I think that's enough for one man.
And before we come on to you, I've not forgotten now, I'm going to come on to you, but my last question for you, Richard, and hopefully our man over there with the sound system will turn it down a little bit for us, because we are trying to have an interview. If anyone wants to shout at him, feel free. Fast forward a few years later, and you've bought your third Lotus Carlton, and we finally got 40RA back on it. But not many people know that 40RA was actually a sort of a birthday present for yourself, the number plate.
It was, yeah. I think actually I'd already gone just past my 40th birthday when it came up for auction at a DVLA auction. So fortunately I was able to get it and use it on, I've used it on a variety of cars. It's It's part of me. However, it's not mine. It now belongs to my son, who's also RA, and I gave it to him on his 40th birthday, but he's had to loan it me back in perpetuity till I pop my clogs. So he'll no doubt have the car as well. But that's how it happened. And there were some pictures. I had it on a bright lime green Hyundai Kona electric for a while, and the community took a very dim view of that. I've really enjoyed getting back to a Lotus Carlton, and John, who's done some work on it, he's over there somewhere. It's remarkable. It's still, this one is as quick as the first one I had. The second one I had, I never really liked it. It didn't go as well. A bit of transmission tunnel shake, and I don't know if you've ever done the same thing. You buy one type of car and replace it with another, and that's happened to me 2 or 3 times where you think this one's not as good, and that was definitely the case. But this one now, fantastic. Really goes nicely and cruises nicely. It's not just about the speed. You'd think it was a lot more modern car when you're travelling in it. It's smooth, quiet, easy, good.
And I've been out in 40RA, and it is so smooth. We went out in it after a few weeks ago, and even now it still feels like a modern, smooth car. So I can only imagine what it felt like back in the 90s. Now, you, sir, at the very end, who've been waiting very patiently, rather than me coming all the way, what I'm going to do is this. There we go. Hi. So, we have the man who bought the car originally. We have the man who chased the car originally. And now we have the man who chased the story 30 years later. So this was sort of one of your first stories for the magazine.
Yeah, it was. So I've been at Classic and Sports Car for a couple of years now. I was looking for an opportunity to do my first big story.
Yeah.
Obviously I knew about the car and the story, I'd seen it online, like a lot of people. I'd seen that Richard just bought another car. I was like, perfect, good opportunity. It's mad, really, that the story is still so popular and it still crops up every so often. I mean, not to make you two feel old, but it happened 4 years before I was born.
Yeah.
As I say, 30 years ago this year it all happened. But it's such a brilliant story, and you're saying even with not just about this car, but the Lotus Carlton in general, how formidable it was when it first came out in the early 90s, how quick it was. I said it got debated in the House of Lords. The transcripts are online, actually, if you want to. I don't know if you've seen it, but you can find it all online where they were talking about it. But it's interesting because, like you said with Ferraris at the time, you could still get cars that were quicker than this. There was the Diablo and the Ferrari, I think it would have been 348 at the time. And it's not like this was especially cheap at the time. It wasn't like, one anyone could go and buy. But it did seem that people were, police and in government were generally quite frightened of it looking so ordinary, but actually being so quick. I know when we were doing the story, I spoke to my manager, who's been lucky enough to, Astra Clements, who's been lucky enough to drive quite a lot of stuff, and it's a Vauxhall show, so I'm sure there's some VXR8 owners around. But he said this is still quicker off the line than the VXR8. I don't know if anyone's listening. You'll pull up at a red light somewhere going out the show and.
Don't do that.
Try and find out while Brian's not looking. But it's just such a fascinating story. So we started looking into it. Long story short, they were there, and it's such a fantastic story. But from what we did, I found out Richard had the car again. I thought it'd be brilliant to, do a photo shoot, get the whole story, try and get a police officer that works in it. So I found Brian through the National Association of Retired Police Officers, which is short to NARPO, which is much catchier than the full name. So I contacted him through that. And he was happy to help out. We found an old Rover SD1 police car, which would have been a little bit old for the time. I think you said it was BMW 3 Series and Vauxhall Senators it would have been at the time.
They were the,
unfortunately it was really hard to find a police car from that era I think the Met have a really good heritage fleet. West Mercia Midland stuff is actually really hard to come by. So I think there's a Central Motorways Police Group Range Rover around somewhere that's part restored. There was a Rover 827 we found, which was about the right era, but that had literally just gone up to Scotland. And then we found out, there's a West Mercia Police now have a Rover SD1. It still belongs to them. I think the weird story of it is it covered 100. It was Dave Newbold, who's West Mercia's fleet manager, who brought the car along for us for the photo shoot. And he joined the police force. He joined the force about 11 years ago, I think it was. And this Rover SD1 was still technically on their fleet. So obviously he joined. He was like, "What is whatever it was, 20-something, 30 years, 40-year-old car doing on the can't do my mental maths on the fleet still?" And they had a system where when a car reached 120,000 miles, it was off the fleet. They retire it, get something new. This car had 106,000 miles. It's basically just evaded being scrapped. They've been sat in the corner of their fleet somewhere. And then, long story short, it's been restored. It was restored just before our shoot. So really lucky we had that. It was literally, I think they still need to sort out the carbs a bit. So we had to go a bit slow on the motorway between our destinations. But we were super lucky with it. And we went back to, we approached BBC Midlands Today, who had some old footage from it that they digitised, which is where we saw the nice old videos of Brian and Richard at the time, looking very serious when they were trying to look for it. And obviously that basically told the story. So from there, that's how I got in contact with Richard, because it was in the description for the show. And then from there, like you say, there was the last place they did the ram raid on, which was Super Sigs in Rubery, which unsurprisingly is not called Super Sigs anymore. I think it's Gill's News in Rubery High Street, if anybody knows. But it was the last one we did it to. So we met up in January with the car. Yeah, we all met up. Must have been about 20-30 miles away, I think, from where it was dumped in the canal. And it just happened to be that it was pretty much, I think, 1 week out, but 30 years to the date it had been found. They'd found it in the canal. So we went out to Rubery, took some pictures of it in front of the newsagent and roads around there. And then I think the final part of the story, which I managed, the guy actually who pulled it out of the canal in Knoll, is a guy called Craig Tipping, who lives in Birmingham. Found him through on social media. He just said, I think, got the call that some canal boats have been scraping on on something submerged in Knoll. And he went down in a Skidmore's garage, I think he worked for. He went down in an old Leyland truck and yanked it out the river. And I think from there he took it to the forensic lab. They covered it in some ultraviolet powder, and I think off it went from there. It got scrapped. So 30 years later, I think that was how the story ended, as far as, unless anyone else can prove otherwise. But it's just a fantastic story. So
fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think all that's left to say, and I'm hoping all of you'll help me say thank you and appreciation for the guys coming down and spending some time with us today, with a huge round of applause for Richard Austin, Brian Osborne and Ryan from Classic and Sports Car. Big thank you to all of them. There you are, you've heard the story now. All of you now are ambassadors, okay? So whenever you see some rubbish being said about 40RA online, you can now say, well, I heard the original story at VauxALL, and then you can post a link to the video. All right? Thank you very much. I need them views.
Any questions?
And he's happy to take questions. Happy to take some questions. So then, who has got a question? Yes, you over there. Right, I'm going to come over to you. Yeah, you put your hand up. You have a question. Have you got a question?
Yes. How much did you buy this Carlton for?
Woo! You did say any question. So, your Carlton, are you prepared to share how much it cost you?
I bought this one quite cheap because for one thing, it was in the Outer Hebrides on the Isle of Lewis. And mechanically, it wasn't very good, really. It's had a lot done to it. So if you add together what I paid for it and what I've had to spend on it, I guess it's about 60,000. No, it's not bad. But I took the plunge with a car that I'd never seen. I just thought, right, we can make something of this. And so I was lucky. Yeah, I'm very pleased with it. Yeah, hopefully. Well, my son might benefit from it.
That's very kind of you to share that information. Right, any more questions? Let's see hands. Yes. Oh, I might know you've got a question. No, go on. What's your question, sir?
Hey, Richard, who valets your car?
Hey, there you go. Who valets your car? Who cleans your car?
Some schmuck I met at school years ago.
You walked into that one, didn't you? Right, any more questions? Yes, you sir. Look at that. There we go.
Has the story pushed the value of the plate up?
That's a good question. Your number plate, do you think, or has the story and what happened increased the value of the number plate?
I think the car and number plate are inextricably combined, and should either one come up for sale, they'd have to be sold as a pair. Now, what that would fetch, I have no idea. It depends how badly somebody wants it, and ideally, if there's two people bidding against each other, it could be quite a bit, but I'm never going to find out.
Good man. Any final questions for Richard, for Brian, for Ryan? And yes, you sir, go on. Don't be shy. I tell you what, I'm getting my steps in today, aren't I?
Only that Richard said, I grew up in Knoll, and my friend and I went on our push bikes and watched it get pulled out, but I didn't know it was what it was at the time.
Wow. So you actually saw it getting pulled out, and very kindly Brian has shared some of the footage of it coming back into the lab off the back of the recovery vehicle. It's quite sad to see. Actually, it was quite sad to see such a special car treated that way. Last question then. Yes, sir. I'll come over to you. I really am getting my steps in today.
What was the number of the first 40RA, your first car? What build number was it?
What was the build number? Can you remember? Ooh, on the spot now.
Unfortunately, I don't remember, and I haven't got a clue. I wish I had, and I wish I'd taken more pictures at the time, but sorry, can't help with that one.
There you go. You've asked the final question for us. The final myth of 40RA remains unanswered, even with the original owners and everyone who was involved in it originally. We still don't know the original number. Ladies and gentlemen, can I please ask you just once again to put your hands together for our guests here today. A big thank you from all of us here.
Thank you. Just a very quick question. If any of you can help us with our inquiries into tracing the criminals, please form a queue by the vehicle commentary point. Yeah. Thank you.
There we go. Yeah, we did actually try and get a police car to follow you here, but we didn't quite manage that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you enjoyed that interview. Thank you so much for all standing by the arena and listening. Really do appreciate it. We continue with our main arena activities. I'm going to come over to you first. Now, come on, out. Come on. If I'm stood, you're stood. Hello, Max. How are you?
All right, mate. Thanks.
How are you finding the show?
Great. Yeah? Yeah. Better.
Enjoying it?
Better than last year.
Is that because it's sunny?
It was sunny last year.
Well, it was, but it was also freezing cold. It was so cold last year, but it's nice about if people got shorts on. It's that warm. How about that? Yeah. Now, was it your club at the VBOA that? One of your members popped into the main arena with a tent on his roof.
No comment.
So this, to give you an idea, the VBI is another VauxALL show. It's the Vauxhall Bedford Opel Association, the national rally, and this man here, one of his club members, turned up with a roof tent box. Thank you, with it fully erected, completely up, full tent. Completely, I just drove it through the middle of the show into the arena. You did get I also got told off for that comment. I said it was very funny on social media, and then said actually no, it's not funny driving through public, but in the arena it was quite amusing. But it is the first and only time I have ever commentated on a car with a tent on it. Now is that par for the course with you guys?
No.
Worst part about it was one of the admins on there as well.
Was it? Oh, Lord, it doesn't get any worse. The teacher being told off. So, Eastside VauxALL owners, tell us a little bit about you guys.
Well, we started, 10 years ago as, I started the group as a bit of fun, really. Yeah. And we've progressed now and we're affiliated to VBOA.
Yeah.
Last year I was affiliated, and this was the first year at VBO with their own stand.
Yeah, and this year you were filleted.
I was filleted.
You were. A very eclectic mix of cars.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Saf here, Astra here, and you, sir, were one of the first in this morning. You're very keen, very keen. Excellent. We've got Mariva as well, I believe, over here.
Yeah, that's my fleet.
These all yours?
Not mine personally, no.
I thought I was going to say, really? I didn't know you got one of these.
This is the wife's.
Is this the wife's, is it?
Yeah.
So where's yours?
Up there on the stand. People probably fed up with seeing it.
No. But VauxALL, this show is about all Vauxhalls, all specifications, models, absolutely. Whether it is your show car or it is your family bus. Yeah. So tell us what we brought in. What's this?
Zafira B 1.7 CDTI.
Yeah.
I've put the deflectors on it, the spoiler on the back.
Yeah.
I've modified the front lights myself for halos. And 19-inch rims with glitter and all that in the paintwork. I've done it all myself.
So a couple of nice little cosmetic, tasteful mods.
Yeah, as long as the wife approves of it.
Yeah. Well, yes. Well, do you approve of all of the mods so far? Yes, thumbs up. That's all right then, isn't it? Because you'd be told off at a second show this year if she didn't. And your car, what's yours?
Mine's the Vectra C GSI, the silver one up on the bank there.
Yeah.
It's got all the Ermisher kit on it.
Yeah.
And it's the 3.2 V6.
Nice. And you've had a great view up there, haven't you? I mean, I've had to use all of the space this year. What's it like looking down upon everyone?
It's great. I've actually took a video on live on Eastside and pointed it, swung it all the way around.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I imagine over here it's like a sea of blue.
Not really.
No?
No, at least there is...
The Team Arden ones, though.
At least there is some other colours as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful to see it. Now, this, look at this. You've got the full, all the way back here. You can lie back and get a tank. You don't see many with this option.
No. I've been told it's one of 50 in the country with the panoramic windscreen.
Wow.
Insurance companies don't like it.
No.
So it's a bit difficult to insure.
I've been told that the previous gen Astra of this, if they have that and they get a chip, they write the car off.
So I've been told.
So, although it looks relaxing sat there, do you think, oh no, Greta Lorry, oh no?
Excess for the windscreen's only £100, so we'll see.
Don't risk it. Don't tempt fate. I tell you what, the view in there is amazing. It's like, I mean, it's not like a convertible, because a convertible would still have the crossbar going across there. That is so cool. So cool. I bet it gets hot though.
Yes, I don't drive it with it open because I've got no sun visors.
No.
So I have to wait for it to be dark really to have it open.
Yes. Well, that was a design choice made by VauxALL. Yeah. In practice, not so much, but still a cool thing, and it's good to see. Now, going on to you, sir. Hello, you, sir. Tell us, what's the club like?
Max ain't too bad, actually. He ain't a bad old stick.
No, all right,
he's all right.
And what you bought in here?
Just a Mariva B at the moment.
Is it your daily?
It's everything. what I wanted to buy the crappiest car that nobody likes and do something with it.
And what's the plan? Have we started? Where are we planning to go with it?
This is it. I'm finished now.
You're all done?
I'm done now,
so
yeah.
what have we done?
Just engine tune, body parts and everything like that. Because with a Mariva B, you can't buy anything for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've had to scrap things off of other cars. And, you know what I mean? Basically, you won't see another one like this, basically. You know what I mean? This is it, really.
Yeah. Well, you say that's it. But I can see now you'll start getting other bits off other cars and thinking, if I just move this and just do that, I can do this with it. And this, of course, has got the suicide doors on it, hasn't it?
Yeah, suicide doors, I mean, it's a pain in the arse. People try and get in, they try and open the door the wrong way. But it's funny watching them do it.
That's great. I like the fact that both of you have bought cars in and effectively just saying, yeah, they're great, but let me list all of the things that aren't so great about them. Now we move to a different club. Hello, you're VauxWeb, if I'm right, aren't you? So you are also enjoying, I tried to create like a crown around the show this year. So you've had a fantastic view of the whole show, and now you're down in the heart of it. Tell us about you, tell us about your car.
I've been a member of VauxWeb for about six plus years now. I've owned this since 2014 with 5,000 on the clock. It's only done 29 from new now. Engine mods, straight through exhaust, etc. That's about it, really. Yeah.
So is this a daily or is this a toy?
No, this is my toy.
Yeah?
Yeah. Last year it done 600 miles.
Wow. And what's the plans for it? To leave it as it is now, or are we going to get more performance? Are we going to go more extreme?
At the moment, leave it as it is, and then concentrate on the other builds.
Yeah.
So
other builds. What else we got going?
Nova GTE.
Yeah.
Corsa B.
Yeah.
And that's it at the moment. And this one.
There you go. Fatal last words.
Yeah,
at the moment. At the moment. And finally, we come on to the car. Oh Lord, what have I done? What have I done? So I learned to drive in one of these. You know.
Oh yeah, so did I. So did I.
It brings back so many memories. But if they didn't have those seats, those are of a later Corsa, aren't they?
Yeah, Corsa VXR.
Yeah. So tell us what we've done with this.
It's a complete SRI replica. The engine underneath, interior. It's completely different, Say it was a 1.2 SXI.
Yeah.
It's now a complete 1.8 SRI.
So, a question that I'm sure someone's going to ask, why not sell this and buy an SRI?
Well, you see, it's more fun, isn't it, eh? More fun making it yourself, learning on the way. Like I say, I broke many things, but with it being a cheap car, you can fix it, can't you? And
absolutely.
Go from there.
They're still fun cars, aren't they?
Absolutely, absolutely. Definitely. Completely fun. Even though it's a 1.8, 120 or something like that, it's still fun.
Yeah.
It's like just a ton about, so, really fun.
Yeah, good. And what's the club like?
Brilliant. Like I say, I've been to a few shows with the club. I've been with the club probably 5-6 years against different cars. I had this car for about 7 years, but I've had different cars on the road and what have you, and it's pretty fun.
Good man. And how are you finding the show?
Brilliant. It's my first year this year.
Yeah?
Yeah, a first year, So just go around, enjoy it and whatever.
Now, question for you. Have you got anything left to do on this, or is it about there?
Apart from fixing things that I've done when I was a younger child, just like doing things that I've done younger, like scratching the wing and things, and just going around it really, just tittle of it and making it better. Like I've got it underneath yet, and under seal it and stuff, and powder coat it, and just go around it, just keep looking at it.
Well, there's been about 600 cars here today. If you were heading home now, they've got quite far to go. In fact, one man's got to go all the way back to the Netherlands. I know, right? He started his journey on Thursday. Yeah, that's a journey.
Wow.
So you've had a good look around.
Yeah.
Has anything else tickled your fancy?
Oh, quite a few VXRs. I've got a VXR myself, obviously, but just getting more ideas and things and get on the road and keep playing with the cars.
Excellent. And are we going to see you at next year's show?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
In this or in something else?
I'll have to see what we have to see.
I like it. That's what we like to see. Well, a real pleasure seeing you. I hope you've enjoyed the show. And, you've got great stands up there, loads of space and a great view of all of this. And now you've got all of this to enjoy for the rest of the afternoon. Absolutely. And we've got the sun and the ice cream van. What more do you need?
Winning in life, aren't you?
Absolutely. So a big thank you to Eastside Vauxhall owners and VauxWeb for coming down and joining us. Thank you so much for coming down and joining us. So we move on with our next club. You were last in. I'm going to talk to you first. Hello, how are you?
I'm all right, Tim. Yourself?
I'm very well. Now, Club Vox, you've had the spot right over there by the entrance. You probably had the shortest distance to walk inside the museum.
We did. Prime location.
Absolutely, and you put on a fantastic display. I had no doubt you put on a fantastic display because Club Vox is great. Tell us what we bought in.
This is my 2001, was a 2.6 Vectra GSI, the only one from factory made in this colour, so it's quite rare. It's been 3.2 converted.
Yep.
Interior wise, it's had the seats replaced with the P1 Subaru seats.
Yep.
It's had a full bare metal respray.
Yep.
And still awaiting a full underside restoration at some point after I've done my other rare one.
Yeah. And what's the other rare one?
It's a Vectra GSI Moonland 2.6 estate.
And are you going to leave that as 2.6 or are you going to swap that?
That one's staying completely nut and bolt OE.
Yeah.
That's also the only one off the factory in that colour.
Yes, I think I've seen that one. I think I saw it at VBOA earlier this year. Or was it last year that I saw it?
It's been a couple of years since it's been out. It's been in bits at the minute, but it's close to being finished.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to seeing that. You're going to bring that to Vauxhall next year?
They'll both be there next year.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear. So, Very rare thing to see. Looks really quite lovely. But my question is, because there's a lot of people who swap the 2.5 for the 3 litre and so forth, is there that much of a difference between the 2.6 V6 and the 3 and 3.2?
Definitely top end.
Yeah.
It's got light and flywheel, light and pulley.
Yeah.
And it's had all the polished and ported heads, and it goes well top end off the clock.
Fantastic. Excellent. Well, fantastic to see this. I really hope you are enjoying the show. Now then, hello. I have a soft spot for these as well, you know, especially with this seat covering. What's the right term for that seat covering? Is it rainbow or something?
All the phase. That's the phase 1 interior.
So tell us what we bought in here, because this looks immaculate.
It's a January '92 red top GSI. Originally a dealer manager's car.
Yeah.
And then it's had 2 owners prior to me. A bit more rusty when I bought it than this, to be honest. Yes.
How much work you put into this?
It's got new rear quarters, new seals. Quite a lot of work.
Yeah, you can tell. But do you know what? Yeah, it's definitely not your aftershave. It's definitely the Astra smell. They've got that fantastic 90s smell.
And the squeaky clutch.
And it's got the squeaky clutch. See, it's just so 90s. And that's my era. I absolutely love this. I love the phase 1. I think they look great. Even now, I think they still look like a great car. Now then, you, sir, hello. Come on. You can jump out of this one. Come on. So, you are a bit of a serial car builder. You are? Cool, because this isn't the first one you built. We've got your 888 coupe, and then you built a 888 Astra van.
I wouldn't have said I built it.
Well, you did a lot to it.
I did a lot to it. Griffin Autos built it in Bedford, yeah.
And now we've got this, your latest incarnation.
But you'd have to have this because the clutches went on the way back from VBOA on the other 2.
That's true. And I know. I'm going to find them. I am going to find them. I'm going to find them.
Why I came today.
I know. Right, so tell us what we've done to this.
Most of this was done by somebody else. But it had about 3 or 4 owners that really didn't care about it and just ran it, ran it like with no pressure in the shock absorbers. Mm-hmm. And so I've basically painted most of it again, replaced everything that was broken, and it is just what it is now. It's one of the highest spec VXR vans that's about.
Yeah, because I never made a VXR van out of the factory.
No.
But it doesn't half look right. You could have painted this red with like special delivery down the side of it. It could have kept up with email in this. It's that quick.
Yeah, it's quick and it's all right. You wouldn't believe it's got 211,000 miles on it, though, would you?
No, absolutely. I don't even believe you now.
It has.
I don't believe you. But it looks great. It looks great, and it looks right at home next to you, because your other one is the 888 Astra van, which is really cool.
Yeah, you're supposed to be coming to have a look at that, aren't you?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to move on now to somebody else, because I have a soft spot for these. I have a soft spot for all of them, but I really, really, really like these. I really like the Edition 100 and the cab. How long have you had this?
John, how long?
Hello.
This is my nana.
Is it your nana? Is nana nice?
Yes.
Yeah? And is this your granddad?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Who's got all the sweets? Nana or granddad?
I ate all of them.
You ate all of them? Oh! Well, there's none left for me.
No.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. I'll have a word with Nana and Grandad, and we'll see if we can either get more sweets.
To Mum.
You gave the packet to Mum?
Yeah, it's empty.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I'll tell you what about if I have a word with Nana and Grandad and see if they'll buy us both an ice cream? No. Just you an ice cream? Yes, there we go. I haven't earned an ice cream. It's lovely to meet you. What's your name? Scarlett. It's lovely to meet you, Scarlett. Can I have a little word with Nanny and Grandad now? Thank you very much, darling. So, how long have you had this?
13 years.
13 years? So, they wouldn't have been very old then, would it? Actually, no, they are getting on a little bit now, aren't they? I can't remember. Yes, Scarlett.
That is my friend Ava over there.
Ava? Where's Ava? Hello, Ava. Nice to meet you.
Her mum's in the car.
And where's Mum?
No, the red one up there.
The red one over there? Is she? Right, let's go and find Mum. Come on, let's go and find Mum. Hey, Mum. I think Scarlett wants to... I think she wants to be a presenter, you know. It's not. It's not yours. Where is she? You told me she was in the red car.
No, it's Ava's mum.
Oh, it's Ava's mum. Oh, okay. Where's your mum?
There. In the
Right.
white.
Where are you, mum? You. There you are. Right. Listen, mum. I think Scarlett wants to take my job. Should we let her do all the commentary at Vauxhall next year?
Yeah?
Yeah. Right. Hello, Nana. I'm coming back over to you. I will get to talk about your Astra. I will. So why have you gone for this?
I just love driving it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, you've had it a long time, so it must do something right.
Yes. Yeah.
And so many of these now are just getting broken up.
Not this one.
No.
Not
Well, I think it's wonderful. Hello.
Got these for you.
Oh, for me? Excellent. Thank you very much. Ham and mustard. You know what I like. Thank you very much, Scarlett. That's very nice. Thank you. She's got more energy than me.
Oh, yes, she does.
I think she can do the commentary next year.
Yeah.
I think she can.
She has a lot of energy.
What's Club Vox like then?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I've got to say that, haven't I?
Well, of course you have. I mean, how much are they paying you to say that?
Married to the chairman, so she's got to say that.
Exactly. So you'll pay her later, yeah?
Yeah, mostly, most days.
Yeah, good. And what you thought of the show?
Absolutely fantastic, Tim.
Yeah.
Year 2, hats off to you, mate.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Very good. So you're coming back again?
Oh, yes. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah.
Good, because you need to do the commentary next year, I think. No?
Next year in September, I'm going into year 2.
You're going into year 2? Wow. Well, that means you need to work very hard at school.
I'm going to be 6.
You're going to be 6. So that means you're...
21st.
August 21st. So that means it was your... Hang on, what's the date today? That means it's your Isn't it your birthday soon?
No, on Wednesday.
Oh.
21st.
Oh, right, okay. Well, have you enjoyed the show?
Yes.
Yeah? What's your favourite car? Grandad. So this car, this one right here, excellent.
I'm a Ziggy VXR.
And you Ziggy VXR, excellent. Well, a big thank you to you guys for coming down and joining us, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. You're part of the Grand Slams.
Yeah.
So tell us what this is.
It's a VauxALL Adam, but it's had the VXR Corsa engine put into it.
So you've put in the Corsa VXR. So it's as close as you get to an Adam VXR.
Yeah.
Was it an Adam S? Or was it just standard Adam?
No, just a standard one.
I quite like the Adam S because it's the Adams. You know, it's plural, isn't it? Maybe it should have come in pairs, you know. So you've put the Corsa VXR lump in. What else have we done?
It's on air ride, air bucket seats in. It's got boot build, Porsche wheels, splitter kit all the way around, and yeah.
Was this the intention when you bought it, or did it just sort of start and escalate?
It started and escalated.
That's the best way. It's the best way. So what's left?
I don't know. What else can you do to it?
I don't know. Maybe you could do another one, have a matching pair.
Yeah. I don't think I've got that much money left.
No, it looks great, and it's the first time you guys have been here. I was thrilled, by the way, when you booked it. When I saw your booking come in for the Grand Slams, I was like, this is excellent, because you weren't here for the first year, but you're here this year. How have you found the show?
Good.
Yeah? Would you
lovely.
come back? You can say no.
Yeah.
You would? Yeah. Good. Well, hopefully we'll see you in 2025, and we'll find out if you found something else you can do to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, good man. Now then, another new club to the show. Hello, Z20 Let.
Lovers.
Absolutely, we do love a Z20 Let. How many cars you bought in?
We've got 2, mine and Charlotte's GSI.
Excellent. So we're doing sort of a performance section. I said this is a celebration of VXR, but of course, Z20 Let came before that within SRI and GSI guys. So tell us a little about you and this car.
So I started Z20 Let Lovers with another admin called James back in 2013. We're one of the biggest clubs in the UK in regards to Z-Lets. We do have a few VXRs that come on as well that like to identify as a Let, but they're not quite as good as us. SRI.
Fighting talk. Did you hear that then? People are like, ooh.
SRI and GSI. Obviously, I'm a mad lover of an SRI turbo. Charlotte loves GSI. Both fun cars, you know.
Yeah.
We use them for track, we use them for daily. They just how they handle the interior and that of them. Obviously, mine's upgraded to VXR interior, which has been fully trimmed.
Yeah.
Cars obviously had a spray as well, but yeah, they're just great cars. They're just fun cars. They're cars you can get in, and they're raw power when you've looked after them and they're done right.
Yeah. Am I right in saying that SRI turbos are quite a rare thing? Because weren't SRIs, many of them were 2.2s?
Yeah, so they made 500 of the SRI turbos. This was a prototype to GSI. They made 50 in red, and there's only 12 left in red now, and I think this is the second lowest mileage one in the UK to date. It's only got 57 on the clock. And then they obviously used it as prototypes to the GSI, and then it proved to be popular, so they've done a GSI.
And have we bought a GSI in next? Is this
We have.
right then? So, hello. Come on, don't be shy. Don't be shy. We had a good chat earlier. It's exactly the same, except for other people who are listening to us now. So, tell us what we bought in here.
It's my GSI.
Is it better than his SRI?
100%. And his other black one.
Oh. So tell us what we've done to this.
Fully forged. Kind of a bit of everything, really. KO6. Yeah.
And why one of these? Why not a VXR?
I've also got a VXR.
Oh, there we go. How do they compare?
The VXR's a bit ASBO-y. This one's a bit more chilled to me.
Yeah?
Yeah, a bit more me.
Yeah? I mean, the G is a great car. The Astra G, I've had many of these. They are great cars, and with a good lump in the front of them, what a combination. I think they're a great car.
Great, yeah.
Have you found the show?
Amazing.
Yeah, you enjoyed it?
Much better than I expected.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, make sure you write that down on the feedback form. Now, where's Charlotte from VXR Owner? There she is. Did you hear that? She said that the VXR's more ASBO-y. She's got one as well. There you go. There you are. That's a new member for you to be signing up now. Right then. Hello. How are you?
All right.
So, Insignia and Vectra, VXR owners.
Yeah.
Tell us about you. Tell us about the club.
So, my name's Sam. I'm one of the admin for both groups, to be fair. Me and my wife founded the Insignia VXR Owners Group. Had Vectras on and off over the years. This one we've only had a month. But we've saved it from being pulled apart, and then my dad owns the black one next to us. So yeah, they're in various states of refurbishment, is probably the best way of putting it, but Dad's has definitely got the most exclusive one amongst us.
And I'm guessing, I'll come on to you in just a second, Dad, but I'm guessing, judging by the picture in the windscreen, this was an ex-cop car.
It was indeed, yeah. So the actual build of it was 10 years ago. Simon Fuller, who purchased the car from Police Auction, he done all the conversion of it, so I can't take credit for that, but it's been sort of sat for over a year with no clutch. Then we bought it as a non-runner and spent the last 4 weeks.
Because if memory serves me right, the VXR cop cars, they didn't look like VXRs. They've just got sort of a standard body on it, and even the interior hadn't really got good seats in them.
So the VXR Special was basically a glorified SRI. Engine and running gear was VXR, but say visibly they were just an SRI, so a VXR in sort of a toned down drag, if you will.
Yeah. So you're toning it up.
Yeah, it's basically putting it back as close as you could get it to a white VXR Vectra, because that wasn't an option colour.
Yeah.
So
that would be cool when it's all done. No, very cool indeed. Now, apparently you've got one of the most exclusive ones. Then tell us what we've got.
Well, it's basically a Vectra estate in black, automatic, the only one ever made.
Really?
Yes. So it's a unicorn.
Wow. So, how did you come to find it?
Through Sam. He encouraged me to buy one. Obviously went and had a look at it. It was a non-runner when we got it, but through Sam and all his help, here it is, as it is today.
Excellent. Well, there you go, Sam. Big thank you. I think I speak for everyone here. Big thank you for basically infecting your father with the disease that is Vauxhall ownership. Yeah, exactly. Where's the wife? Where are you? There. So, have you been infected as well?
She's Insignia.
You're Insignia. Oh dear. Have you got a kit car now? Have you VXR'd that yet? On the to-do list. Very good. Now then, hello Team Arden. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Oh yes. Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's been a very long day. I got here just after 6:30 this morning. It's been a long day, but it's been worth it. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. I just wanted to say, obviously, thank you for giving us the opportunity to actually be here and talk about the cars and talk about the club.
Absolutely. I thought, what better way of rounding off the performance version of Vauxhall than with all the VXR clubs?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my marshals have gone mad. They've gone absolutely ballistic at me. Like, going, what are you doing, bringing all the clubs in at once? Well, why not? Why not, indeed?
Yeah.
So first off, Team Arden.
Yes.
Is it more than just a colour?
It is more than just a colour, yeah. So for us, it's more of a family type thing. So obviously the club was founded December 2017. And every show that we go to, we stay in a hotel before. So obviously we go to tracks, VauxALL show at Santa Pod. We do like loads of shows, but it's just the family that we have. You know, it's just mad how a car, a manufacturer, and a colour can bring so many people together. Yeah. It's, you know, our Facebook group has almost 1,000 members. Yeah. We're very active on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and all that type of thing. So it's just really crazy how a manufacturer and a colour can bring so many people.
And you've been over there at the near the front of the museum, pretty much facing VXR owners. Have you been getting on with them?
We have, yeah.
Are they good neighbours? Are they good neighbours?
Really good neighbours. Like they're the sort of people that will come over and like cut your grass for you. Like they're that sound.
Oh, isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? No, that's good to hear, because I like to see everyone getting on, and that's what this show's about. It's about celebrating all Vauxhalls, not just one or two. Hello. How are you?
I'm Andy.
Hello, Andy. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you.
So, Team Arden.
Yes.
Tell us about yours.
Well,
is it blue?
Hang on. Oh, you think so?
Yeah, it's blue.
Yeah,
good.
So
how long have you had it?
So this is the original Team Arden car.
Yeah.
Team Arden was founded by my daughter, Shania, like Callum said, 2017. It was all done as a joke initially through, because I was a part of the Vectra VXR owners group. Yeah. And there was a lot of banter between the colour owners, the blacks, the reds, Arden being the better colour. But they could never put up with it. Jamie Lamas started Team Black. Shania then started Team Arden, and it's just grown from there. Like Callum said, we're just a big family.
Where's it? I need to get Team Black here then now, don't I?
They've chickened out.
Have they?
Yeah, because they knew we were bigger. That's why.
Excellent. So what's the club like?
Oh, we're just a big family.
Yeah.
We just love each other. We're friendly. I wouldn't say we never hate each other. Yeah. Of course we do, but yeah, we're just so friendly. And like Callum said, we regularly stay in the hotels before shows, and just love each other.
Fantastic. And have you enjoyed the show?
Absolutely. Always love this place.
Good. So
Coming
be back next year.
Absolutely.
Good. Excellent. Well, I'll be telling you a little bit more about next year later after this. Hello. I don't blame you staying in here, because we had to squeeze you all in.
Unfortunately, I can't open the door wide enough to get out of it.
No, that's fine. Tell us what we got here.
Astra J VXR.
And you're part of the Astra J VXR Club, right?
Yep.
How have you found the show?
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, we was here last year as well. Yeah. This year's a lot bigger, and it's been all right. It's good.
Good. Now, Astra J VXR, of course, people recognise the previous gen of this. That got quite a lot of coverage. It got quite a following. The J never quite got to the same sort of level as the previous one, but in many ways, it was a bit of a better car.
I think in many ways it's a better car, yeah. But I mean, there's not that many JVXRs about. They're quite a rare car, whereas the H's, they kind of flooded the market with them.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love it. Brilliant car.
Yeah. I very almost bought one of these brand new, and one of the favourite options I remember was you could have a blue stripe stitched into the centre of it. How long you had this?
2.5 years.
How you finding it?
Brilliant.
Yeah?
Love it.
Good car?
Yeah.
Good club?
Yeah, brilliant club.
Good. That's what we like to hear. Now then, we come on to you. Hello. Now, you. The reason why I come on to you is because of this VXR Owners Club. I've heard about you lot.
The biggest club.
Yeah, it is. But also a wonderful club.
Yes, brilliant club. Lottie is amazing, and all the other admins are brilliant.
Yes. Now, tell us what we bought in here.
Corsa D, Blue Edition, VXR, obviously.
Yeah.
Pretty standard.
Yeah.
Engine.
Pretty standard engine. Any other mods?
Just all the looking mods, wheels.
Have we got any plans for the engine?
No, I'll wait until I get a bigger engine to do that.
Okay, I'm going to get a bigger engine. You're going to drop going to put in a 2-litre lump, are we?
No, just a different car, bigger.
Oh, a bigger car, fair enough. Well, don't get rid of it just yet, because they're good little cars, these. They're good little cars. Now, we come on to our back row. Everyone can see you, by the way. It's just there's so many of you, I've had to bring you all the way back over here. So I'm coming on to you. What club are you with?
I'm VXR Owners Club as well.
VXR Owners Club, good. So, how have you found the show?
Really good, actually.
Yeah?
Both my daughters, they really loved it. Beautiful day. Would have loved to come last year, but I didn't actually own a VXR last year.
But you do now.
I do now.
So does that mean you've joined the club since buying the car, or
Correct.
you bought the car because you joined the club?
No, I bought the car then joined the club.
Okay, and how has that impacted you and like your life and what you do? Has it changed it?
Very different now. I much enjoy driving the car. Every time I get in it, I'm smiling.
Yeah.
Girls say that I like the car more than them, but it's not true.
It's true. You spend so much money on it. The cat's out the bag now.
Yeah, I had a few issues with it when I first got it. The transfer box went, broke down, breakdown recovery drove it, also the garage, and snapped the gearbox.
Oh,
so
God.
I had to replace both of them. But since then, it's been fine.
Good.
Very nice car, and I've loved coming here, meeting all the people, and I'll
Yeah.
definitely be back next year.
Excellent. Well, I've set you guys a challenge. 101 cars next year is the challenge. Hello, are you also part of the VXR Owners Club, are you?
I am, yes.
Tell us what we've got here.
Vauxhall Vectra VXR. It's totally standard as it came off production line, and still a great car.
Is that the plan, to keep it standard?
Yes.
Do you know what? Do that, because as these get older, they get rarer.
Yeah.
And especially, they're so tunable.
Yeah, they're a great car.
Yeah.
But touch wood, I've had no problems with this in the years I've had it.
Well, just keep looking after her, and she'll keep going. Speaking of keeping going, I've been looking forward to meeting you. Now, everyone back over there, if you can look here, there's a little hint of the number plate, okay? It's not a show plate, that is the genuine plate, isn't it?
Yeah.
What day did you leave your house to come to this show?
I left Friday.
Friday. So you've been travelling for the best part of nearly 3 days. Where have you come from?
Holland.
Holland. All the way from Holland to come to my little show about Vauxhalls. How have you found it?
VXR Owners Club.
Yeah? And what do you think of the show? Was it worth the drive?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good. So go back, tell all of your friends that next year I'm going to come over to Europe and I'm going to set up... We've got VauxALL now. I'm going to set up Opel. Okay, I'm coming for you.
Okay. Let's do it.
Tell us what you got here.
It's a 2010 Zafira B OPC.
Yeah.
So totally stock. It has a slight tune and a downpipe. That's about it.
Yeah. What's the scene like out in Europe compared to the UK?
The VXR scene is a lot better.
Yeah.
Parts are just cheaper, easier to get. So
Yeah.
I drive over every now and then.
What, cheaper to buy here than over in Europe?
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And is it recognised? Is it OPC over there, or is it still VXR?
OPC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've let you in. There you go, Charlotte. You need to adjust your name. It's the VXR and OPC. Yeah, I think you should. I mean, that's commitment. And you're going to go. Are you going home tonight?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, just relaxing drive to the train tomorrow.
Excellent. Well, later tonight, when you sat there, you can go on YouTube and watch the video. There you go. Free plug. Right then. Hello. We saw you in the arena very, very, very first thing this morning.
You did.
You were smiling then. You're smiling now.
Smiling and sunburnt, yes.
Yes, I know that feeling. We didn't have a chance to talk about your car then, though. Tell us what it started out as.
So I bought it second hand with 7,000 miles on the clock, standard completely. It was a Vauxhall X demo. Took it home and the gearbox decided to die, so it went back to them for a warranty fix. With them for about a month, back and forth, who's going to pay for it. They ended up sorting it out, and then as soon as I got it back, very seriously voided the warranty on it by adding all this other stuff.
I like that. Thank you very much for fixing my car. Now I'm going to properly break it. So from bumper to bumper, talk us through what you've done.
What time does this show close?
Well, yes, but as quick as you can.
So obviously the exterior mods obviously speak for themselves. Lambo doors, custom spoiler, ridiculous wide arch kit.
Yeah.
Internally, power-wise, it's running 330 brake. It's got quite a modest tune because it was my daily, like this, for a good few years. And it's got a Nintendo in the dashboard as well.
It's got a Nintendo in the dashboard. Which one?
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, that's ace. That is just ace. And sat on air ride as well. It's such a cool thing. When Charlotte said to me earlier, I said, I need a car for the intro. She said, do you want a Larry one? I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then you turned up in Darth Vader. Right then, let's come on to you. Hello, sir. How are you?
Not too bad. Yourself?
I'm all right. Proper Berg?
Yep. Proper
Tell
Berg.
us about it.
OPC edition, 300 horsepower, basically as they come, really.
Yeah?
Yep.
Had you been looking for one for long? Because there's not many of them, is there?
I've always looked for one, waiting for the right one to come up. This happened to come up at the right time, so just bought it.
Good man. And how's it been since you bought it?
Haven't had a single fault, so not too bad.
Touch wood. Touch wood. Let's hope that it continues that way all the way home and for many, many miles after. Have you been to a show before?
No, never.
And what did you think?
Really good. We'll be coming back.
Good man. That's what we like to hear. And finally, you. Come on then. So, another Berg.
Yep.
What have we done to this one?
So there's a full sound system inside, and been remapped to 300 brake. So it's nothing too much, but a bit better than standard.
When you say full sound system, how loud is it? I don't want you to prove it, but how loud is it?
It was loud enough for your colleague over here to come and ask me to turn it off because you couldn't hear the tunnel earlier.
We sort of did. We were talking about 40RA and we were talking to Richard and we couldn't hear him. You're a bit loud. And I think you turned it on earlier, and someone from the museum came and phoned me. So, would you mind awfully turning it down? Was it you or was that your friend?
That was the other one who was on our stands. That's Manny.
Manny, where are you, You, come here. Just you wait there. Right. You were in this ring last year. Yeah, I remember, and it was loud last year. Do you know what you did this year?
No.
You know when you turned it up over there?
Yeah.
Something fell off the wall in the museum. No. It was that loud. The bill's coming to you, Manny. Now we know who it is. Now we know it. How's the car, by the way? Still sounding good? Yeah, I know. I heard it. They felt it, but I heard it. Oh, Lord, please don't. Please don't. Anyway, can I just say to all of you guys, I know you guys at the back there are a little bit back, but hopefully you saw what I was trying to achieve here, a celebration of VXRs and all of you coming together. This is the final arena activity. So a big thank you to VXR owners. I'm going to try and make sure I get you all. VXR owners, Astra J VXR owners, Team Arden. I'm doing this off memory, you see. To Insignia and VXR owners, to Z20 and also to the Grand Slams. Thank you very much for coming in. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and a big thank you to everyone who came down and supported VauxALL. Now, make sure you head over to Facebook and look for VauxALL Show on there, where you can find out all of the details for the 2025 show coming up. And coming up next on YouTube, it's a big one. It's tanks, trucks and firepower. So that is a 3-day military festival full of, yeah, you guessed it, tanks, trucks, very loud bangs. That's all coming up next week on YouTube. But once again, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you again soon.